This program is rated MA. It contains adult themes, coarse language, sexual references, and violence.
Hey everyone, we're back and welcome to Open Comms. You have myself, Rain, we got Brisk, and then we got Dirk, and everyone else is MIA. We have no idea where the fuck they are. And then, as you can see, we have some folks in TeamSpeak as well. We have Arendis, Caleb, and Dirk 2.0.
Hashtag
I have to say, I love the fact that that was the cleanest opening we've had in months, and it's because Drayden isn't here.
Exactly.
And it was better than, even better than when LB did it, although that was pretty funny too. I give you guys credit. Rain, you stepped up. We needed you to step up. You stepped up.
It's like I've never streamed before.
Like have you ever streamed before?
I hate you guys so much.
For your first time, you're really good.
Shot. I'm just calling a fucking shot. Why not? You know, it's been one of them days, people. So if you got a shot in your hand, just I don't know, take it now.
I gotta pour it. I haven't even poured my drink.
Hold on. You know what? Hold on. I hate doing a shot for nothing. Not that there really ever is a shot for nothing, but Brisk, you had a shot that you wanted to make this week. There was a death in the world or something.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to do a shot in my Blade Runner glass to Rutger Hauer for passing away, since he was in the best 80s movie that's out there. In fact, I just got my Blade Runner movie poster for my new basement.
Ladyhawk?
Rec room.
That too.
The Hitcher?
Yes, and Hitcher and a bunch of other movies that he was in.
Or just the only one that nerds thinks fucking matters and why they think he's a good actor.
There were a lot of good movies that he was in. I happen to like the Blade Runner one the best. So that's just me. Other people liked other stuff he did. So
and it was the best Blade Runner ever. So
it was better than the
Rutger
new
Hauer,
one, but it was good.
Brisk also wants to talk about the death of generations, but you know that's fine. That's another thing.
We can argue about that later because that's BS. We had a long conversation in Karma Fleet Discord about the fact that somebody has gone out and like rearranged what each generation is, and they've lumped millennials into like 1977 to 1995, which ropes me in, and that's bullshit.
Okay, and it was brought to our attention. It was brought to our attention, just for people out in the audience, okay, that yes, what you see on screen for the TeamSpeak with the people's names on it for when they're talking and things like that is blurry as fuck. We're trying to figure it out, but if we can't, it goes Brisk, Dirk, Rain, Arendis, Caleb, better Dirk.
All right, and also
I'm glad that I'm the better Dirk. I'm just gonna I'm gonna run that.
So
there you go.
We also have some shout-outs. We have Nanok, Brisk himself, as well as Commissar, all with the subs, so thank you for that, guys. I know I'm trying to get the
16 months of this shit.
I'm trying to get it to show.
You poor bastard.
Months. Forever.
I know, right?
The Matani thanks you.
A long time.
Even I don't subscribe to INN Twitch.
That's horrible. You should feel bad, Dirk.
Why should I feel bad? I'm not INN, so you know what does it care?
All hail the
pay yourself.
Media.
I mean, even when we're at INN, it's not even like we get a free sub. You know what I mean?
All right, so when I do 60 months, the Blastum has to come over the top of 34.
At the INN Christmas party, we don't even get like a fucking 1 month free sub or anything.
I don't know how to get the sub alerts to show properly, by the way.
We have a Christmas party?
Apparently there's a Christmas party. I thought I could just like, you know...
Dirk has his own Christmas party for INN here.
I don't think I've ever been invited to the Christmas party. I'm offended.
It's right next to the Bob barbecue.
In 2004, when everything was planned.
Yeah, he's saying resize. Well, you're probably reading that. Never mind.
Don't worry about it, Rain.
I'm seeing it pop up.
So yeah, it
looks
pops up, but
better
it's
than it did,
it's
to be
half,
honest.
and I don't know if that's the way I pasted it in.
You pasted it in?
Yeah, so sub alerts, what you do is you have a link, and then you have to attach the link to like what they call like a browser source, and someone subs, it pops up the alert with the sound. So I have like my sound off, so you guys can't hear the sound. But in theory, what you should be able to see is the full source, but it's not showing right, and I'm trying to figure out why.
All right. Well, Drayden is now telling us behind the scenes that he does all kinds of super secret stuff that he doesn't tell anybody to make things work. So thanks, Drayden, you dick.
Okay, so what Drayden's telling us is we're doing it all wrong, but nobody could know how to do it right anyway.
But he's
the only one
in the
that
middle of
knows.
Mormon territory or someplace right now, like
But
trying
he's
to
up in
find
the-
3 or 4 wives, and like he doesn't know how to like even get onto Wi-Fi at this point.
Basically,
Now, I will say
we're
he went through the
terrible
Donner
people.
Pass this morning. He went through the Donner Pass this morning, and I said, "Don't eat anybody," and I don't know if he got the reference. That kind of worried me.
Really, Dirk? Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi? Wait, I'm sorry. Has the name changed or something like that? Since
He's in
last
Mormon
time?
territory with his 3 or 4 wives on Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah.
Got it bad.
Sister Wi-Fi? like what do they call them? I mean, if you have a second Wi-Fi in your house, what do you call it in Utah?
I mean, is Mormon territory
Mormon
better than
net.
Amish territory?
No, it's quite a distance from Amish territory.
I asked if it was better. I didn't ask what
Oh,
it was.
Probably
no, I guess
because
it's
you
different.
can speed.
Well, yeah, believe me, you don't want to get on Amish Wi-Fi either. So it's like,
Yeah,
Amish
That's two
Wi-Fi is
tin
pretty bad.
cans and a rope.
You also don't want to be going too fast on the interstate in Amish territory. You will get a vicious fucking ticket.
I'm gonna tell you, like some of the worst Saturday mornings at college were waking up and driving to the diner, and like getting behind a horse and buggy, and you're just like, oh my god, I can't even pass this guy.
Where'd you go to
Yeah.
college?
Yeah, where'd you go to school?
My first year, I went to Kutztown University, and like,
Oh,
well, it's more Mennonite there, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it.
That's
Like,
crazy.
have you seen
then I went back to
the
Connecticut, fuck
ticket? Have you seen what they'll give you for a ticket on I-80 in Pennsylvania, Dirk? Oh my god.
oh my god, it's ridiculous.
5 miles an hour over the speed limit, $100.
But anyways, yeah. So I don't know. We should probably like. I don't even know. I mean, like, I don't even know what's going on this week. Okay, look, we should probably put the announcement out there.
How about nothing? Nothing is going on this week.
That's not true. That's not true. We are midway into the season of skills. Okay.
Ooh.
But come on, honestly, with EVE
Dailies
Online right
and
now,
EVE
isn't it
Online again?
always the season of skills? That being said,
I mean,
you should
we
be
should-
logging in and killing some shit, like an NPC here or an NPC there, using your agency window. Apparently, is what they tell me.
No, not the agency window. There's a flag. So like at the top left where it shows like solar system route, etc., and it'll have like faction warfare options, incursion options. There's a little flag, so you can click it and it'll say kill one NPC for 10,000 ISK or whatever. And so that's what you click, and then you go out and do whatever it asks, and then you get the ISK or the SP, not the ISK. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then you have to wait 18 hours for the next one.
It's dailies in Eve again. That's all it is. It's dailies.
Yeah, and it's a little more detailed.
I'm fine with that.
It's got a little randomization to it because, like, you may get the one that says, "Hey, go do like these extras, for 50,000 skill points or whatever," or you may just get the one that only gives you 10,000 skill points.
So can anybody
I'd
do
actually
these?
love to see what the percentages
Anybody
are.
can.
Yeah,
Yes.
everybody can do it.
Oh.
Doesn't
Well,
matter
maybe
what
I
kind of
should-
And it's
doesn't
per
matter what kind of
character.
NPC you kill either.
It's
And
per
per-
character.
it is per character on your account, so you could do it across every character on every one of your accounts. Skill point farmers.
Maybe I should.
And
like,
it
actually
is
do
SP
some
as well. It's
ratting.
not ISK like it
No,
was-
it's SP.
So like
Somewhere between 10 and
si-
50,000.
Every single character on your account can have SP each day,
Correct.
and so you don't have to pay for the training or anything. It's just hey, go out and shoot a rat and you get SP. So
How much do you get?
Between
Uh,
10
The
and
first one
50,000.
it depends on what mission you got. But
If you get
do
if you
have
get to
do
go
it in a
kill
ship.
one NPC, it is 10,000. If you go get the one that apparently is like kill 5, literally 5 of, I believe to be anything, 50,000.
Any NPCs, yeah.
I can kill gate rats and suddenly get.
You can kill rats in the
Yeah,
in the
in
new
anomalies.
player experience mission or whatever the hell it is that you can repeat over and over again. That are like you can literally go out in an Ibis and do this shit.
Yeah. How many times a day can I do it?
One time a day.
Once per character, but you have to be in a ship if you're in a structure killing diamond rats that are attacking you from an FOB or something. That doesn't apply. You don't get bonus for that.
Here's a better way to consider it for people, right? If you get the lowest level, you're talking about roughly, on average, 4 hours worth of skill training. If you get the highest level, you're talking about 20 hours of skill training.
Yeah, exactly. Just shy of a day at max rate, right?
Yeah, last week was nudging to log in, and this week is nudging to log to undock, right?
To undock, exactly. And you won't hear me bitch about this because I believe that earning skill points for activity is the right way to go. This is absolutely the right way to go. I have not earned a one of them because fuck it, whatever.
You haven't logged in a week.
Because you're as lazy
I actually have logged in. I don't give a shit enough to go in. I logged in several times this week. I had to check some shit, but
did you actually undock though?
But no, I did not undock. But that being said, okay, I could have, and I still chose not to.
So you're basically saying that experience points are better than training actively, right? That's what you're saying. You're saying we got experience points in Eve now.
I just didn't realize that I could do this. I thought this was like a noob thing, so I'm gonna go do it.
No, you can do it.
It is kind of experience points in Eve, but
it is.
in the idea, in the concept, right? Of where we live right now in Eve Online, with the giving away of skill points because they don't have the value that they once did. This is a cool way of doing it. Skill points for activity, not skill points just for getting to a screen that never even counts as I've entered the game.
It's fair. It's a fair design to change the whole catch-up mechanics. It's actually a decent way of doing it. It's just a little bit too Skinner boxy for my taste.
Agreed.
Like the whole game is in the Skinner box.
I know, but seriously, Eve used to be a little bit different. You didn't feel like you were being put in a box with a big button that you had to pick.
But this runs, it ran from beginning Wednesday of this week, a couple days ago, through August 21st. So Drayden, look at Drayden out in the middle of nowhere, freaking
47
resubbing from Utah land and whatnot, through August 21st. So look, you could do this every day on every character on every one of your accounts. Go out there and get yourself some free skill points.
And just as a point,
they're not free because you earn them. That's
you got to do something, but
you actually have to do something. Amazing.
You earn them.
What I was going to say is,
if you mine them yourself, it's free.
Mm-hmm.
what I was going to say is the weekend after that as well. Like it's August 23rd or something.
Are you skipping ahead? Are you skipping ahead on me?
I'm skipping ahead on you a little. They're going to do another login event. So
that's right. We're going back to the login event when this is over.
You get the login events, you get your dailies, you get your login events again.
Got to keep those login numbers up.
Back to the future.
Absolutely. You got to know how your experiment works, right?
Got to keep up the summer of logins, people. But yeah, so
look, I'll tell you flat out right now. Anytime they want to give me free skill points, I will take free skill points. You know why? Because despite the fact that Brisk is like 13 years old and has like 170 million skill points, my skill queue is still like 900 days long.
Of course it is.
So yes, I will take all of those points.
Sure. So have you been going out and getting your due?
Well, I didn't realize I could. Otherwise, I would have.
What do you mean you didn't realize you could?
He thought only newbies could do it.
I didn't know. I thought it was just for noobs. I didn't think it was for.
You weren't on the show
on the
last week when we
CSM
talked
anymore.
about this?
He doesn't know what's going on.
I don't have to read anything anymore, so I just play the game now. I don't have to pay
you're on this
attention.
Are you even
podcast.
on the show?
Yeah, good thing you're on this
that's why I
podcast.
asked you guys, because you guys inform me, and I can't be the only
We talked about it
F1
last
pusher
week.
that's not paying attention.
He gets his news here.
Exactly.
We talked about it last week.
You heard it here, guys.
I don't
Open
remember
Com's
talking
number
about
one
that
news
part of it.
source of breaking news of stuff to do in Eve.
There you go. Open comms. You heard it here first. It's not just for noobs.
As a real quick segue, though, into the obvious news of the week, it was suggested in the Tongan Stations interview that CCP have a way to take the login event and take the data that they have and remove that from the blackout effects. So like they can tell what the effects of the login event are separate to the blackout effects.
Well,
All right,
Are we believing them here?
Well, I would think that, for the most part, like for me, I log in Brisk every day, but I don't always log in my Sino ults every day. I don't always log in my Titan ults every day. So I'm pulling those up on the screen and just getting the stuff and then logging them out. I'm not actually putting them in the game. So I'm guessing that maybe they're going to say, well, if you didn't actually go in the game, that's
I think they can tell
only
the
were
there.
That's how they're going to filter that out. So
my other thing is like when it comes to CCP and like logging and metrics or in-game metrics, like they have a ton of data, like there's no lie there. But it took how many CSMs for them to look at the data with like Vortex before they started like changing things with Vortex? So when you're like, oh, do we trust CCP to be able to filter X from Y? It's like, well, wait a minute. It took them how long to do like Vortex? Why would like my first instinct is to say no because obviously they move so slow.
Maybe they learned from that to now take data that comes from multiple sources and has multiple variables that are like worming through it and everything, and look at it harder.
But I mean, correlation does not mean causation, right? So they could have all this data, but when you have two different things affecting gameplay, then it's hard to say, well, X is the only reason Y is happening, or vice versa, right?
Yeah, it's totally
right.
So like it's very hard to have like quote unquote clean data. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
but at the same time, I mean, look,
big problems all along. They never do a decent control group.
And the other thing I think is that it's not a question that they can't do it or that they won't do it. It's that they've got so many other priorities. If they're not paying attention to that thing, and they don't go digging for that data, somebody up top doesn't say, I want to know this, then they're not going to look at it because there's so much data stream coming. There's so much data.
If the blackout's their priority, then if the blackout's their priority, then being able to filter out the extraneous data to actually get the impact of the blackout would be an important thing for them.
I just want to say real quick that I love how Brisk used if a higher up isn't asking as code for if Hilmar isn't asking.
I
don't want to put words in his mouth, but it could be him or Berger or one of the other guys.
Exactly.
But I mean, look, at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, these guys, if they don't have a lot of extra time to just pull up numbers and look at them. It's not like they can just go, I'm going to go poke around and see what the numbers are on this. So if they don't have an active assignment that they're on, then they're not going to do that. They're not going to waste their time. So,
but if you're doing something that you would call an experiment or a test sort of layout or whatever it is, right? You would seem to think that there is somebody tasked with, and we're going to want data from this, right?
Well, that's what. Look, I do not believe for a second, and I know everybody on Reddit was saying this, and even I thought about it for a second. If they're looking for the data for how the blackout is impacting logins, I don't think they're going to run a login campaign in the middle if they can't filter that information out, because they'd be totally fucking their own data set. I don't think they're that dumb. So if people can say they're that dumb, I don't think they're that dumb.
I don't think they're that dumb either.
So when Falcon or whoever says, yeah, they can filter that out, I tend to take that at face value that they can do that.
I would agree.
Think it throws a bunch of variables in there.
I was gonna say I agree, but like I've also seen like big corporations. So if I'm thinking of just like reporting statistics or reporting like financials, I've seen tons of like big companies just absolutely completely screw up the way they do reporting. And so like while I'm like, yeah, I really hope CCP has a plan for this or they know how to do this. At the same time, like human error and just simple variables getting in the way, the more noise you have, the harder it is to read the data.
You don't have to tell me about human error in CCP. So
of course not.
Yeah,
you should see human error in other places.
Our favorite CSM member, he's here. One of our favorite CSM members. I can't say that because we have a lot of favorites.
What do you mean, Brisk? CCP doesn't do human error.
They've never made a mistake ever.
Nope.
Just real quick before we go into what it was that the other Dirk was trying to drag us into there, I do want to once again say that
that's an accusation.
Say that there is a Blue Yeti Nano giveaway going. You know what? Look, I'm just linking this shit out there. Like either you guys are in on it. Either you guys are in on it or not. You either want to try and get one or not. There's a couple special codes that you can use in there. I will throw them out into Twitch chat as well. This is for viewers of the show. You can use them down in there. Blue Yeti microphones are really high quality. If you want something other than to try and win a Blue Yeti Nano, you can go out there and get the Beast, which is just the standard Blue Yeti or something like that, which really makes your voice sound really fucking cool. It doesn't make your words come out any better, but it does make your voice sound cool. Whatever. There it is. 20% discount if you use the code INN on their website. They don't ship to Canada, apparently, so only America.
Also, I'm being told that nobody is drunk enough on the show yet, so we should do a shot.
Who are you being told by?
Who are we doing a shot for?
I'm being told by my friends.
You don't know. I could be totally soused.
Brisk has friends? What?
Amazingly enough, that's news. Let's talk about it. We have news.
Was a little
Brisk has
earlier
friends.
today. I think he got home from work a little freaking early today, and
Arendis has been having fun for the past 3 hours.
But yeah, what should we do a shot to? You know what? Here's to Drayden. I believe he's meeting with Manic Velocity out in Sister Wife Land, and they're gonna do that while they're driving through, and then he's going off to wherever he's going on his trip or whatever, or he's already met with Manic. I don't even know.
Cheers.
I don't know. Whatever. My boy Drayden. May he get to where he's going and home safely. God bless Drayden. Don't get hurt.
In Colorado, because that's where he is, not Utah. Colorado.
Yeah, but he's going to at some point along the way. He's going to or through Utah and meeting with Manic and going to take pictures of themselves, at the Tabernacle or whatever, because they think that's funny. Not that I do, but whatever.
Well,
What's a
it kind of is funny. It's the Mormon headquarters.
All right,
Brisk, your voice is
your mic,
gone
your gain on your mic is
and-
super high.
Yeah.
What I turned it down.
Apparently,
Stop,
the
stop,
bitch.
back
Apparently
away
the
from
cleaning
it.
lady came by and did it again.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. Is it better now? I turned it down again.
Maybe a little more.
Oh my
I don't know
God.
if it's the gain. Maybe it's the boost, I don't know.
It's
I
really
don't know,
high.
because he's not just loud. He's kind of especially
Distorted.
when
Booming.
a little bit distorted. Yeah,
All right, let me see if I can fix that.
That's better.
that's better. That's
How
a
is
lot
the
better.
That's
entire
me
stream
whispering.
quiet?
I'm just not talking loud.
He says the entire stream's quiet. I have you guys fucking max. You're hitting the high notes.
Yeah, no, it's not a general issue. It's a brisk team
Brisk issue.
All right, is that better? Is that
fucking
better?
Brisk.
I'm
Switch?
normally too quiet. I really just want to be louder than Dirk so he can't talk over me.
Exactly.
Well, you got a problem there because now you got two Dirks who are going to talk.
I know.
right?
Got to talk over both of them.
But you know what?
Brisk.
I do want to move off into this. I don't know how far we want to go with it. I don't know who has listened to it. I don't know who understands what's going on with it or anything like that. I'm going to throw it out there to you people in chat. This was an interview that was done on Talking in Stations on Wednesday with Hilmar.
Wait. Do we want to talk about other things like the VNI finally got nerfed?
Yeah,
No.
let's talk about the VNI real quick because apparently it is
Okay.
good. All reports are that it is a good change and that people are enjoying it. So it sounds like CCP have done a good thing.
Yeah, I'm hearing it's
Everybody
actually
likes
pretty much a beast now in PvP.
They like it for PvP now.
It's better for PvP now, right?
Yeah, apparently so. I've seen in about 4 different Discord servers that the new VNI is actually good for brawling, and it's generally just more usable. Although, in fairness, I did see that the bar was better than the Exekra Navy issue. So,
I was out on my botting forum today, and they were saying we don't give a fuck.
Oh, you have a botting forum?
Well, I mean, it's not my botting forum. I was out on a botting forum that I frequent under another name, and they were all saying I don't give a fuck.
Well, of course a bot isn't going to give a fuck, right? A bot is just lines of code.
They said they already fixed the scripts.
Now I was out.
I thought the botters were all in HiSec now.
I was also out on my AFK Radder forum today, and they were fucking up in arms like a bunch of mad bitches.
Wow.
Yeah. A botter just adds more lines of code, right? You can't hurt botters in the same way as you hurt real people, but apparently the VNI changes are actually, at least good for the people who want to fly them.
Poxbox is asking who bots in a VNI. From what we heard, okay, nerfs to both the VNI and I believe it was to the drones and whatnot were part of this overall alphas that bot. Use these things.
I bot. Don't you guys bot?
But virtual machine alphas.
Yeah, we all bot. Like.
King.
For those of you who aren't in the know, Rain is kidding. That's a joke.
We are kidding.
Rain is kidding, but Dirk 2 is not.
Oh, I'm not.
I have friends who bot. I don't bot myself.
My Dirk 2 or my
Don't ban my account.
You're Dirk.
I'm just Dirk, right?
You're one of the regulars here. This is your show.
Okay.
The other Dirk.
Thank you. You know what, horrendous? Fuck you. You get a goddamn shot for actually laying out the respect for I'm on the show, right?
No. In fairness, I'm Dirk 2 in this situation.
No,
you come to
I called
INN,
you better
you're
Dirk.
Dirk 2.
So that was a differentiator of distinction.
I appreciated that, by the way. Cheers to you for that.
Cheers to horrendous.
Cheers to horrendous.
Cheers to
as
all
well.
of us. Fuck it. Let's just
We're all doing
fucking
great.
cheers to all you people in the audience.
Thank you for getting drunk quicker to make everybody happy, Dirk.
God bless us.
So back to the VNI.
Dunk!
Dunk! I'm in here, bro.
Hi, Dunk.
Evidently, it's been pretty good in brawls. I saw Yinton came to our home system this morning and was fighting people in VNI. People had fun. There were good fights. So I'm hoping that leads to a nice video from Yinton about the new VNI.
But I thought subcaps were obsolete.
I thought Jin was in Shield Brutix's.
That
was Pravi. That was Pravi. Never mind.
No, this morning definitely before I went to work, which is probably later time in England land where he lives. He was flying around and fighting people in VNIs, and I'm sure he's trying to see what they can and can't do for real, not just in EFT or PyFam old.
Yeah, Jinton's been doing the VNI apparently. He's enjoying it. Other people that I've seen are enjoying it. It sounds like it's a good change generally. The VNI will be used more, and the faction warfare botters can make more money.
Well, from what I saw this morning, I think he killed at least a Phantasm and one other ship before they finally took him down. So,
that's really good on him.
That's pretty good.
That's really
I hope
good.
that Phantasm had the new skins on it. Otherwise,
it's going to be so funny at the next CSM summit with can you nerf the fucking VNI, man? This shit's a beast. Stop.
I keep trying to convince Pandemic Legion to let me rat in a VNI with a super elite fit or whatever, so that way when
Are you only allowed to rat in supers and Pan.
No, but I just want to get tackled and reverse tackle and be like, haha, loser, and then dunk on them. But it turns out it doesn't actually work.
You mean dunk on them where PanFam's gonna jump in on it?
Yeah. But it doesn't work because what I found out is I tackle.
PanFam doesn't jump in on shit anymore?
No, I don't even tackle them, and they're like, Rain,
no.
I'm warping my Leviathan, and then they don't even land in time, and I'm dead, and they're like, oh, they warped off, and I'm like, thanks, asshole. Really. I fed 2 ratting ships yesterday. It was terrible.
Dirk's here PanFam doesn't jump on anything. PanFam has to jump on things under their new code. They're all about that super umbrella. 200.
Wait a second. So why are you ratting?
I didn't actually.
Rain, why are you ratting in the same
system? I was just trying to make a funny on an opening.
I do that.
But Rain, why are you ratting in the same system as their Titans are?
So hear me out.
That's the boo boo.
So the first time I built a ratting ship, people were like, "Hey, Drayden."
Hi, Drayden.
People were like,
Hold on.
He's here.
We have no idea how long Drayden's going to be able to be here for.
No,
Drayden, do you have clear connection?
My phone's one of those dumb ones that doesn't have a headphone jack, so I have to use one of those USB-C to 3.5 millimeter dongle.
Do you have a solid connection?
But it doesn't register the mic when I use that. So.
Do you have a solid connection while I'm
in Colorado when I'm not running the show? I still have audio fuck ups. So anyway,
Drayden
never changes.
I can't stay. I gotta get in the hot tub.
Drayden, check.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a solid connection? Can I allow this to go back to Rain saying what she was saying, or you may just drop out at any time? Because I do want to hear from you.
No, I got a solid. I'm on the Wi-Fi. We're at the main building, not in our condo. So
what could we possibly have to?
You're at the father's house. I got it. Okay, Rain, go ahead.
But
tell us about your ratting.
Okay, so
more about this.
everyone was like, oh yeah, guys, let's go ratting. And I'm like, oh, I want to rat. Because, like, I've literally never ratted, for those who are unaware. Like, I've done events. So when CCP has, like, events, I'll do that kind of quote-unquote ratting, whatever the fuck.
Wait a second.
Liar.
You've never been ratting?
No. So, like, if
How
you
is this possible?
If you look at, like, my sex status to a lot of the NPCs, first of all, my original sex status is extremely
is that
low.
like gender
which
now?
means
sex status?
No, sex status, like with Concord and shit. So it's extremely
Okay.
low because I've literally never ratted. And then my sex status to a lot of the NPC factions is pretty
-10?
high.
You're in PL, right?
Well,
So
yeah,
shouldn't it be
it was close for a while. But anyway, I started ratting in drones because I'm like, fuck it, you know, you can't do missions with drones. Like, I don't give a shit, whatever. And now, like, my sex status is really high, and then my status to drones is really low because I've actually ratted with them. But anyway, so I'm like, oh, you just, like, fit up an Ishtar, right? Like, you just click some modules and you just shoot the rats. And, like, first of all, I almost died, like, 3 times, so don't judge me, but I almost died 3 times. And then I finally figured it out, right? And so I'm like I'm PvEing in my Ishtar, and then I just get hyper fucking dunked. The next day, CCP announces blackout. I go like 3 weeks without an incident. I'm ratting in my VNI. I'm baiting with people. I'm helping like response fleets to like nerds who get fucking tackled because they're stupid. I'm doing all this shit. Like, it was a shit ton of fun.
Nerds that get tackled because they're fucking stupid, but like why were they stupid relative to your prior stupidity?
First of all, I never said I wasn't stupid, so.
She included herself in the nerd.
I include myself. And so
your current stupidity.
Actually, like, shout out to a dude named John from Initiative because he lands
shout out
on me.
John from Initiative.
He lands on me in a slicer, and I'm like, oh no! And I like spam warp, lived. And then there was a guy from Waffles. So for those who are unaware, apparently we're not blue to Waffles. Like, Pandemic Leader's not blue to Waffles, which is like weird to me.
That blows my mind, to be honest.
And honestly,
I just can't believe that.
I feel like this is all my fault because I feel like no matter what I do in this game, Waffles is red to me, and they always just kill me. Like, no matter what I do. Like, I was in Amamake, I got fucking hyper dunked by Waffles.
Did you ever think it was just you?
It was me. It might actually just be me. Maybe they AWOX'd me. Maybe like PL is like,
go kill Red. In my experience, Rain has pissed off some CEO and some alliance, some fucking where it causes you mad headaches.
It's not an AWOX if you're not blue. Like, you're just red to them specifically.
That might be a personal red.
At the soul fucking level, they've got you set red.
That actually might be it. So anyway, Waffles like kills me, and then I get another ship. So I make I think it was like about 2 bill ratting over like a couple weeks or whatever. And then there's VNI nerfs come out, and I'm like, oh.
Holy shit! How much did you fucking rat? Goddamn, girl.
So like I would get home, and if I wasn't doing anything, I would just AFK
like literally
rat.
At all times that while you were home.
Yeah.
Like,
so for example,
in I'm sorry, a ratting VNI, right?
Yeah. So like for example, last week Saturday, I was like, you know what? I need to fucking like do some shitty fucking chores. Like, you all have that shit, right? Where you gotta do like random ass fucking cleaning and dumbass vacuuming and like all the boring shitty chores.
So like
right?
this stuff.
I thought you meant like chores in Eve, like moving shit around and stuff.
No, well I could do that too.
Brisk's voice is all
mic
fucked up
is
again.
fucking
Don't
horrible,
talk
bro.
again.
Back away.
What is wrong with it?
I'm
literally, you're so loud and distorted, motherfucker.
I just moved you from -10 decibels to -20 decibels. You are. There's some
I do not know what I'm doing. I really don't know what I'm doing.
Back away from your mic.
You're poor and have a bad
Back
mic.
away from your mic. The gain is way too high.
Oh god, fine.
So anyway.
I gotta do a shot.
So yesterday the VNI changes come out and I'm like, oh, I'll do a dummy. So I fit up a dummy, like whatever the fuck, like some guidance bullshit told me, and I'm like, yeah, I can do this. I'm literally on grid on my first ADOM for 5 minutes, and I just get fucking dumpstered by this random fucking roaming gang. And I'm like, help, I'm dying. Like,
who were they? Do you believe they came through a wormhole, or they just snuck through a bunch of gates to get to you?
They easily could have come through a wormhole, but they also could have just been roaming. I mean, like, as far as I know, I don't think we had a gate camp or anything up or whatever. I bought your dummy.
You guys probably wouldn't, because you guys don't run gate camps, so it's like.
Well, let me
as
ask
far
you
as I'm
this,
aware,
Rain.
no.
Can you guys? Am I better now?
Yeah.
Brisk, you sound fucking amazing right now.
All right, perfect.
Great.
Rain,
just do exactly what you're doing.
All right. How does it feel to live in the ghetto of Eve now? You guys are in like dumpster land.
So
shut the fuck up.
To be
If she's
fair,
in Malpais, that's not the ghetto.
So to be fair, I don't know. Like, right? So my nullsec experience is literally PR TAC, K through J, and now NSI. So, like, PR Tech, I fucking love the shit out of that. Me and Pizza, and we just did all our fucking shit where we dumpstered on nerds, and I had no idea what I was doing.
I mean,
super
technically, Brisk, you live in the fucking ghetto of Eve now. Fountain isn't even though close to what it used to be.
And then K3J, I have a shit ton of fun in K3J, and I made a shit ton of money in K3J.
I live in Delve. I live in Quirius.
You don't live in Quirius.
I do want to say,
I have
right?
shit in Quirius.
As long as he's not in New
I do
Jersey,
have a Rourke.
he's fine.
Thanks, Cosby.
Here's the thing.
He's
I
not
used to
Losec,
live in
right?
NSI.
Whoa, don't be talking shit about Losec.
That's New Jersey. For people who don't get it.
What exit?
What,
everyone north of the shore exits.
Hoboken.
Yeah, Hoboken. Jersey City.
So anyway.
But yeah. Can I just real quick, Rain, talk about how according to, CCP Darwin's here in the chat going that he's imagining Diplo's saying, hey, we'll set PL blue, but we need to talk about this Rain thing. Like,
that's probably a conversation that has happened, yeah.
Give it a shit. Like, Diplo's
I have been
just
part of this conversation.
People.
It is horrible.
Yeah.
It's actually horrendous. Diplos just want to shoot people, and nobody else will let us shoot things.
But yeah,
I'm fine with that. I mean, Diplos. I always have a teasing relationship with the Diplos because that's what they do. They stop us from killing people. I hate that.
That's not what we do.
It's not fun. It's not funny. Dirk.
But yeah, so I've done. To be fair, I've done ratting for like a couple. I'm gonna say a couple weeks, and maybe not a month, definitely, but like it's coming up on a month. And
all right, so you were in your Ishtar before. Have you been super ratting yet?
I tried it, and then all my fighters kept dying, so I couldn't.
That's exactly what I want to ask you. How many fighters did you lose?
So, technically, I didn't lose fighters because I pulled them fast enough, but oh my god, it made me so fucking mad. Also, actually, I got my first... I made my
Vegas recommendation right now.
Did you?
I got my first super kill.
About time.
We have something to say here. Wait, hold on. We have a Vegas update. What was that, Iron Wolf?
Dirk McGurk's Mossad agent bodyguard has made his reservation, so don't fuck with Dirk, man.
Thank God. I needed fucking security this year because this year's gonna get bitch fucking crazy.
All right, now I don't give a shit. I want to hear what Rain had to say.
No, so I actually.
Man who doesn't have
Shut up! I dropped my super, Dirk. I was able to actually having a super
for. The super?
I had a super since October.
To defend
yeah, I did. I actually got I didn't
move to Delve.
No, I dropped my Nyx. I don't know what we were shooting. We were shooting a tower. And I got top fucking damage on the tower, so y'all can suck my dick. Got top damage. So #1 super pilot at PL.
Let's
get back.
Is calling people out for dropping supers.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let me get back to... Sorry, so you live in NSI. Why are you ratting in NSI?
Mostly because I'm bored, and there was... So the fits I rat in.
Why aren't you ratting in like Y6?
And then you'll say you should have a sign on your ship, right? The thing is my ship is like paper thin.
If you want to drop a super on it.
Well, yeah, right. Like if I want to get saved, I should have a sign on it, right? But the thing is the ship fits I have, like I don't know if you look them up, they're like literally all active tank. There's no way I'd be able to tank like an actual PvP gang, which in experience I haven't been able to tank a PvP gang. And so by the time like I light a Sino and have nerds jump in, like I should be dead no matter what. So my theory is I'm just gonna rat in NSI, mostly because then I can stop other. Because then I can stop.
Dunk's not wrong.
I mean,
not wrong.
I can stop other nerds from ratting in NSI. Like when I say other nerds, I mean people who think it's okay to rat in a super in NSI. And spoiler, don't rat in staging with your fucking supers anywhere. That's not just Pan Fam.
Is it because they can't jump there?
Your allies cannot save you.
It's almost as if Pan Fam are learning from the fucking Revenant issue. That's what's happening.
Do you not get in trouble for like ratting in an ally space? I mean,
but Rain. So here's my question. All right,
she's Rain. She can rat in anybody's fucking space.
Yeah.
Like, people will give her.
Let me tell you about Rain. She's in
Rain,
all
if your
the
fits
special
are
channels.
so bad that
She's
you always die
now.
to PvP games,
She just can't talk shit
in
Talking in Stations Discord.
Oh shit! Now you had to bring it up.
Oh
man,
you
had to bring it up.
Later.
Come at me, white name. Come at me, colored name.
Figure back, but it was just an easy out. It was an easy fucking gimme.
And
so,
you
like,
gave me shit for making. I made an easy joke last week
gimme.
about Rix, and you went off on me for it.
Let me get my gimme. all that being said, we're still here on what blackout means to Pandemic Legion.
Anyway, so Rain, so my question is, if you know your fit sucks in PvP and you keep getting dropped, why don't you change it?
So the thing is so I actually have been trying. Like I've been experimenting with some fits, like looking at them. The hard thing is being able to just like passively tank rats while also being able to like scram and brawl hostiles. So like I have, like, for example, I have a really good Dami fit, and I fucking have, I mean, I've flown to Dami, like it's actually super fun. The thing is it's all passive, like hull tank,
super slow,
which,
but yeah.
well, I mean, yeah, like, right, so it's passive slow, like it's passive hull
heavy.
tank. The problem is though, so I'm killing rats, I just have to wait for some asshole to come over, tackle me, and then I like tackle him back and kill him, right? But the thing is then like eventually between ratting sites, then I have to warp to a citadel, rep up, boring shit, and so it just like delays my time, and then it's also like it looks really shady.
Who wants to run over to NSI and just give Raina a hug?
I mean, I'm ratting right now, so
the phrase you were trying to say is my ticks. My ticks.
I mean, but also like, if I'm scouting, right, and I'm watching like a ratting ship, if I see it warp to a citadel every time between, I'm like, well, wait a minute, shouldn't they be kind of like AFK ratting? Like, it'd be either A, an alpha player, or B, they're not in an efficient tank type situation.
Everyone here is just asking us to rate their fucking ticks.
Exactly. Rate my ticks. There you go.
Rate my tits?
Here, let me give you a nickel's worth of free advice. Every time I'm having difficulty trying to work a fit, I do one magic thing and it fixes it all every time.
Call Pando?
You know what that is?
No. You
put
call
a sign
horrendous when you want fits.
Call Pando?
I ask Suetonia and he tells me what to do.
God.
I do that so much, though.
Call Suetonia and just gets a hit online.
I always talk to Suetonia. That's the thing. Like, I'm at the point where I'm like, fuck, I can't ask Suetonia. That poor kid's probably just
Yes,
sick
you
and tired
can.
of me.
That's what I do it every time. It may take him a day or two to get back to me, but he gives me the fit, and I'm like, thank you.
Seriously,
that's it. I'm done.
Brisk got his Nurgle fit from Suetonia. That's
Fucking
where
right.
that happened.
Now, granted, I've tweaked it a little since then, but yes, I did get my.
When the student fucks with the master's art. God damn.
I had to because I had a couple of experiences and I learned some things I needed to learn. I lost 2 Nurgles and I needed to fix that, and then
that Bryn's Seabow is obviously going to stop you dying, Brisk.
Fucking right. It's going to stop me from not being on the top of kill board. That's what it's going to stop me from doing. Look, I'm very proud of the fact that Merkel Chan and I are in the top 5 all time on Nurgle kill list, and we managed to stay there since it came out.
I'm top 100
so
Draugr.
I gotta keep that alive.
I love my Draugr.
I haven't taken a Draugr out yet.
Who the fuck's flying a Draugr at the moment?
Oh, you can suck my dick, Dirk 2.0.
Rain is.
Oh snap!
You have a dick?
I've actually soloed in it.
You know what? I'm taking the compliment there of 2.0.
I soloed a Megathron. So I caught a Megathron, was soloing it, and another friend came to help, and then I caught 3 Hurricanes and another, I think, a Praxis. But I mean, it's a shit ton of fun. It's a super amazing ship.
I just want to point out that before the show started, someone in TIS Discord did ask how long it would take Dirk to get Rain to tell him to suck her dick. It was the wrong Dirk.
Exactly.
But I'm still going to call that a win at 43 minutes.
Well, hey, you know,
43 minutes.
What are the current
If you
bets?
didn't specify which Dirk, then you're good to go.
Yeah, because in Talking Station chat, when they say Dirk, they obviously mean him. So maybe they did.
No, they don't mean me.
Oh, they mean me.
You're the fucking moderator.
I'm that guy over there.
Yeah, colored name.
You can't even keep us in line.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, colored name.
Confused.
What are you gonna do now?
And when she like says "suck a dick, Dirk," it's like I'm sitting there going, "What fucking consonants are suck a Dirk dick?" It's like, whatever. Anyways,
like Rain's just there, causing havoc, I guess, and.
I don't know if that was havoc. It was like
memeing. Do you guys have any questions? Do you guys have any questions at all? Okay, and I don't mean questions, concerns, reservations, observations,
about
comments. I hate to say comments because everybody needs.
Are you talking about ratting?
About the fact that the VNI nerf dropped on Thursday.
I think it's weird from a CCP perspective.
I don't like. I mean,
Yeah, I
so
think it's
CCP comes
not
out
weird at
with. They normally do their updates Thursday. Their patches or not
No,
Thursday.
they do
Tuesday.
their
Tuesday.
patches.
Sorry.
We call it
Tuesday's the
Tuesday in
patch
America.
day.
Yeah, sorry.
Look,
Sorry.
look,
I
look,
fucked
we
up.
call it Tuesday
Guys,
everywhere.
But
it's summer. It is summer in Iceland. Everybody's on vacation.
I don't
So
care.
they don't know
Even
what day of
did
the
one
week
today.
it is.
They normally have
impressive.
patch net. They normally
Well,
have
it was
patch
yesterday,
notes.
Brisk, but okay.
And like
It
I
doesn't matter.
appreciate
It's still
patch
impressive
notes.
thing.
that they did one in the
Well,
middle of a week.
Hold
They
on a
could've
second.
just said, "Well, do it."
They
Here's the
again."
thing.
always do it in the middle of the
So-
week.
so-
we talked
just
last week. We talked last week about
WWW.
VNI nerfs. VNI nerfs and
What's
the
the
drone
question?
nerfs. Is there any question about why they dropped it on a Thursday? Was there something
Tuesday.
fucked up about their normal?
They always do Tuesdays.
Yeah,
was Thursday.
It was because there was like Northern Lights at the same time. Cancer was an equinox with the. Of course, there's no fucking reason. Stop
no
fucking
reason.
tinfoiling.
Oh, it was on a
Thank you.
Tuesday.
I'm not trying
God
to
damn,
tinfoil.
I
There
love
were a
you, Dom.
bunch of people out there who were sitting there going, "What the fuck? This just dropped out of nowhere."
That's
And I'm
because
like, we
those people
literally-
bitch about everything that's
We
not
literally
perfectly
talked
timed in
about
their
the
lives.
fact that it
No,
was
wait.
announced. Now that being said,
They announced
when
it, but they
was
didn't
gonna
announce
happen
a
was
date,
different
no.
thing. And usually they do shit on Tuesdays. Now during this whole goddamn cockamamie,
Did they do it on a
invasion
Tuesday?
Shit, like shit happens on Wednesdays and whatnot. All of a sudden,
Why is he
Thursday
having a second cup of coffee? He
I don't
never
know.
usually has a
Guys,
second
did
cup
they
of my
announce?
coffee.
Did they
Oh my
drop it
God,
on
what's going on with
Tuesday?
the
coffee?
Did they drop it on Tuesday or did they drop it on Thursday?
They
dropped it on
dropped it
Thursday.
yesterday on a Thursday.
Oh, okay, so
They
yeah, that's
normally
really out
drop
of-
patches
that's-
Didn't I
on
say
a
Thursday?
Tuesday.
Yeah, you did. I just
did
want to
say
confirm.
Thursday. Because you know what?
look,
When I say
it's-
shit, that's when it fucking happened.
Here's the thing,
It's
right?
really simple, okay? If you listen to the interview, Hilmar explained the whole thing. The reason they did it on
here we go with
Thursday
chaos
is because
theory.
Hilmar
no,
doesn't
the
do
reason
shit.
they-
Because
so-
it's
The reason
chaos.
they did it on Thursday is because they had the time from herding their sheeps.
No. Here's
No,
actually,
that's summer versus winter. Stop days of the week from seasons.
Here's what I actually think happened. CCP couldn't drop it on Tuesday because over the last 10 days they've had fucking 4 or 5 days worth of server maintenance that has caused long downtimes. They couldn't drop it on Tuesday because they were maintaining the server
Thanks for
instead
the
over
sub,
downtime.
Platin.
So,
Okay.
I only
Alright.
ask it not from a tinfoil standpoint.
So they
but
dropped it
because-
when they could.
But because some people
I
brought
just-
it up.
I just don't like
suspecting
updates
this
without
may
patch
be the
notes.
new thing of like
Dirk,
how they.
here's
You guys
what
are
I
gonna
want you to
give.
do.
You're gonna give Brisk an aneurysm, and I really don't
From
want
now
that to happen.
on, when fucking morons ask stupid questions, you're gonna say, "That's dumb," and then you're not gonna bring it up
I
on the
can't
show.
do that because
Yes,
on CIS
yes, you're
like
gonna do that.
Discord, I can't say you're a moron.
Okay, say.
Yeah,
you
'cause
are
then
not
hate
an
speech,
intelligent
Dirk.
person.
Oh my
I'm not
god, go back to
listening you anymore.
Kugu.
Dirk, you
I mean, are
moderate
you serious?
CIS,
We're going
you
to
can
talk
say
for
whatever
more
you
than
want.
10 seconds about why they did it on Thursday and not a Tuesday? What the fuck is wrong with
Hold
you?
on. I didn't like
just blame
claim to
Obama.
the idea. I just asked if
It doesn't
any
matter
of
what
you
day.
had comments.
No,
or
it doesn't
anything
matter
about
what
it.
day it's
No,
on.
my
It's
comment is anybody who asked why they did it on a Thursday instead of a Tuesday
Don't you
is
think
a
it's a little
dumbass
fucked up though?
and should
Like
not
honestly,
talk.
But they don't have
like, right
patch
now-
notes. Like
right
they
now,
never
don't-
announced
like,
it.
don't you
That's
think it's a little
super
fucked up?
weird.
They
That's
did
the
put
weird-
out patch notes for this.
But they
No,
didn't
did,
announce
right?
it
We
with
talked about
patch
them
notes.
last week.
Oh,
There are
sorry,
patch
Darwin.
notes up right now.
Does it say for the update on
Actually,
XYZ date?
Yes.
the VNI one is at the bottom of the old patch.
Because I
notes.
looked at
No,
patch notes
that's what I
yesterday and
heard.
I didn't see any patch notes.
My understanding today was they slipped in the VNI one.
That's June.
As kind of like an after date at the bottom of the last patch notes.
They
but
released patch notes for
that's neither
July
here nor there
on
because
June.
patches always happen on
What?
Tuesdays.
We are still
I
fucking talking
will
about this.
Right,
Of course we are because you know what?
This
We're
is
like,
worse than your like bullshit.
This
I
is
mean,
fucking
it's
chaos,
not like
man.
Brisk
It's
doesn't want to talk
fucking
about it.
like
So we gotta stop
chaos.
talking about it. So shh.
Literally.
Oh my god.
It's like
Oh my
chaos, literally.
Ooh.
No, I will admit that there is an issue here that CCP released July patch notes, multiple iterations, by the way, of July patch notes in the June patch notes, and then put it
Yeah,
out.
there's
as a news
no way
thing.
I would read
Was
that.
it- was
Like
that
if I'm a
the-
player,
was
I
this
would not.
the-
I would
the
not be
June
reading this.
.3 patch notes.
No, this was just the June patch notes, and that's a bad thing on CCP's end. That's them not actually.
How do we
copy
ever manage
editing their shit.
expectations about patches that are coming? If
So
they
there was a
don't, like,
patch on July 16th. What?
Wasn't there?
yeah.
This company is so incompetent.
I
They
had
didn't
no
put the right
fucking
date
clue.
on the patch.
I
You guys
have
are
no
fucking
fucking clue.
No,
They had something on July
I'm gonna say
5th.
this. When I updated yesterday, that was actually a big, long kind of patch
What?
that like went in there. I'm like, this is all about the fucking VNI. What the fuck is going on here?
Like,
There's other stuff in there, people.
There was
There's
a date on it
in there.
No, Brisk. This is a perpetual thing with CCP. Like CCP have Horrendous can corroborate me here.
Fuck you, Guilt.
What?
Horrendous.
What?
How many months? How many years have I been yelling about CCP's inability to actually copy edit and have the right written information for what they're saying?
The actual copy editing on their dev blogs is terrible. Like it is legitimately terrible. It's really kind of hilarious. I'm actually very glad that they've taken to leaking and teasing their game mechanics changes in their in-game world news channel, because Delegate Zero and the Interstellar Correspondence team actually has copy editing.
Like, CCP do not say what they mean. If they say something publicly, they will then write something that is different, and if it happens to line up, it is luck, not skill.
And by the way, CCP Darwin out in Twitch chat says the Thursday patch also included a major rework of the initial download package for download on demand. That's probably what I saw, because I did fucking see it, because I see all the things.
What's
just
download
so people
on
know
demand?
what download on demand is a way so you can
is.
play Eve.
It's delayed
So
download.
you can play Eve quicker. So it used to be when you would download Eve, it would load every single game image and Alliance logo and all that fucking shit would have to download first, and they want people to play quicker. So with download in demand, basically you get just the absolute basics, and then while you're playing the game, when you come across kind of art or images that are needed, it will download it on demand as opposed to.
That's a great
Dude,
idea.
that's a really weird name for
I
what
did
it
a
does.
Control F and I can't even find that in these patch notes.
Yeah, like, that's actually a thing that Hilmar mentioned in his interview. Like, this is a thing.
Why are you trying to drag us the fuck back?
It's a thing that was mentioned.
Kirk, you realize that you're the only one who's heard that interview, because
I'm not the only one.
I
can positively guarantee that Horrendous listened to this
I have
at the bare
I have
minimum.
read the highlights and the fucking.
Oh my god!
So the reason
I know for
it's
a
not
fact
in the patch
Horrendous
notes,
and I both listened to this.
typically they don't put in the patch notes kind of infrastructure backend stuff that the players would notice, right? So that's typically not in the backend. There's lots of backend patches happen all the time in everything we use, not just Eve, and it's never in the patch notes. The best case you'll see is like we fix some
like
problems.
Brain in the Box.
That's generally not
always,
in the,
I mean,
in the
there's
patch
going to be
that
stuff that
we're
gets fixed
seeing.
that they don't want to tell.
Yeah,
everybody.
it's not a player patch. It's a technical update. That's what they're doing with the servers at downtime that's taking them so fucking long. They're changing
and
the
database
backend.
clean up shit, all that stuff. But look, all right, this is great.
It was only 3 weeks ago when Hilmar put out his tweet going, "Holy shit, isn't this so good? We got fucking downtime down to 4 minutes." And I swear to God, ever since he's done that, we've had like 12
half an hour
12 half an hour plus fucking downtimes.
Every other day,
which I know are not
has
his fault.
been...
That was like, not, it's not but the joke is there, right? Like,
maybe they weren't his fault.
No, well, I'm just saying.
Downtime used to be half an hour. They cut downtime down, and now they're having to make a big deal about the fact that downtime is 30 minutes plus.
Maybe he's in the sheep-faced
nothing wrong with
coffee room
downtime
every
being that
morning,
long.
sitting there going, "Did you guys fuck up downtime again today? You know what I said 2 weeks ago?"
So,
look, as far as I'm concerned, downtime is when you take a shower, so I'm perfectly okay.
Hey,
with that.
I'm not saying that downtime is a bad
The
thing.
longer the downtime, the better the hygiene of the EVE player base. So
Realistically,
hygiene never escalates in EVE Online.
Realistically, downtime being longer gives them more time to actually test whatever the fuck they've changed. The point is that people expect a particular service, and if they cut down the time that is downtime, people expect that downtime will be lower. And then they come out and go, "Hey, we're going to change downtime to be half an hour or 45 minutes or an hour 5 times in a 10-day period." And people go, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing that you're not telling us?" It's an expectations game. That's all it is.
I'll tell you, related to downtime, the time in the game that I hate the most is like the half hour after downtime. For some
reason, it's not because you can't find anybody to shoot, Brisk.
That's because I die all the time in that time frame.
How do you die?
That's me.
You log in first.
Right, no.
It's right after downtime. I'm gonna log in. I'm gonna move my interceptor from Jita back home. I'm gonna go buy some shit. Nobody's gonna be around. It'll be safe. And then I get smart bombed on a gate every fucking time.
And it's always the same gate.
Right
and he keeps.
Did you just start?
It's not the same
playing
gate.
Eve?
It's not the same gate. It drives me crazy.
Every time I get
smart bombed, it's like within a half
Dirk,
hour.
you sound like a PvE noob, like you're losing ratting ships or something.
Not me, right? You said Dirk. Like, you mean Brisk?
Yeah, you read my mind. It's fine.
What?
Okay.
What?
It's like, you didn't learn
Brisk.
the fucking half-hour death rule of fucking, like, don't log in right after? Like, if you want to do the whole before downtime part, like, you can, like, swing that. But the fucking half hour after downtime is a death zone for
No one has ever told me that. I had to learn
it's literally, and I don't mean to bring back your fucking, actor Rutger Hauer. It's the Hitcher time zone.
Oh, God. Okay.
That's when they pick up people and just kill them.
Literally or figuratively?
Generally, in movie speak, literally.
And it's not that I'm getting killed on the same gates. It's like I'm taking different routes. I'm hitting pings every once in a while. The minute that I don't is when I get fucked up. But then again, I can't even figure that out now because I won't realize that, these guys are sitting on the gate waiting for me because I can't see local anymore until I get there. So, blackout, I'm sure I'm going to get blown up in a fucking interceptor soon. It hasn't happened in like 6 months. It's going to happen soon.
Besides, Dirk, as much of a grammar Nazi as I can normally be, as far as the whole figurative use of literally goes, I figure if it was good enough for Mark Twain, fuck it.
Fuck it.
That has been.
You know what? I'll do a shot to that. Fuck it.
Gone over many years now.
Dirk, wait! I gotta pour one.
If you don't have one loaded up, I'm sorry.
How do you not have?
Always
a shot
have your
loaded?
gun loaded.
All right, you ready? Shots.
You drink it and then you pour another one out and leave it.
However, before we go on to the next subject that we have touched on in so many ways, like we bounced across it several times here. I do want to throw this.
Kicking Rain out of the TIS Discord. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, Dirk. Dirk being a Modsy over here. Dirk, By the way, Twitch chat, you can do whatever the fuck you want because Dirk's not actually moderating. So you can post inappropriate words. Say whatever you want.
Are we saying Dirk's a solo?
You can literally break all the TOS in Twitch because Dirk's not moderating. By the way, but hey, if you meme and talking in Station's Discord, sorry kid, you're out. Sorry.
Right, no slow mode. Hashtag Modsy.
I do want to give a shout out there to one of the people who are here in voice with us tonight, Dunk Dinkle, by throwing it out there into Twitch chat. His weekly CSM update. He is trying to communicate with you motherfuckers out there on a broader scale and stuff like that. So far, just remember it is early in the term and things like that. There's not a whole lot to be said. But he does give his own kind of view on things. If you don't want his view, don't fucking read it. I don't give a shit. Okay, but at least he's trying to communicate with the general public.
Dunk, all I want to ask is, have you guys discussed pink skins yet?
That will be a summit thing.
She doesn't want to.
Dunk? No, none of you are Dunk. Why the fuck are you talking? Dunk. Pink skin.
Woo! Yes, Rain.
Yes! Alright.
There you go.
Alright. Votes go into use. Thank you.
Alright. So Dunk, I like the fact that you're doing the updates. I very much appreciate that, even like this week when there's not much to talk about. But here's my question. How much shit are you getting from people for doing those updates?
Well, I kind of expected it. I've been on the internets for a long time, so it's not surprising.
You're not new?
Joking. Oops, sorry.
But I mean, is it a lot? Is it more than you expected? It seems like people are being real pissy with you, and I'm like, guys, he's just trying to tell you what he's doing.
All right. Well, look, my goal is two things. One, to tell them anything I can, which is very limited about what's actually going on in the CSM. And then secondly, to the people who elected me and are represented but maybe didn't elect me, they deserve to know what I think about things and what I'm saying. So I try to let people honestly and transparently know what I think about the situation, which they can disagree or not. That's fine, but I owe it to people to let them know what I think. But I think when I post things, I come to represent, in some people's eyes, everything that's wrong at the game, and therefore everything that every CSM has not done, or CCP has done or not done for the last whatever years, I represent that. And so then they're angry at me about things that I have nothing to do with.
Dude, I am fucking pissed as fuck at you for the things that you had nothing to do with. Like, honestly, I'm just translating it off onto you.
He asked for pink skins, okay? So you can, like, SMD, okay?
Yeah, nobody gives a shit about pink fucking skins. And we're not going to
We all care about pink skins.
Where did the whole idea
so
of
you
pink
can
skins come
SMD
with?
Because he's talking about pink skins.
I
care about
pink
skins.
SMD means, girl. It's like,
Dirk, just Google it.
Some
like
motherfucking dick.
It's fucking Google. Like, it's 2019. Just Google it. If you don't know it, you just Google.
I will translate for you.
Today I learned what TIL means.
Oh my god.
Actually, not today, but like one day back then, I could have said, today I learned what TIL means. It's like, I don't know what shit you people... I know AF. I know AF. That's what I mean. As fuck.
Kind of important question. Well, not really important, just curious question here. Every year, it seems, one CSM gets voluntold or just stumbles into it or somehow
First year motherfucker. He's a freshman.
Being the poor bastard who face tanks the community on the forums. Is that going to be you this year?
I hope it's him because somebody needs to do it.
Well, look, I don't really shy away from it. Like I said, I've been doing this for a long time, since the days of EVE Online or Ultima Online. I've been, putting myself out there. I'm an
Ultimate
extrovert.
EVE Online.
And look, you guys watch videos of me sitting in my dining room, and I'm comfortable with it. It doesn't really hurt me. I can be disappointed, right? Like, they're missing why I said this, but I don't feel like I've been volunteered or it's some terrible chore. It can be frustrating a little bit, but this is who I have been for the last 10 years in EVE, right? It's not like something new for me.
I'm just glad that you're doing it because I was nervous that nobody was going to do it when I left. So
no, hold on. Number one, you didn't do what he's doing, so please don't say
sure
when you refer to him. Okay?
What the hell are you
This
talking
is
about?
legitimately who he is. He's somebody who's going to try and update you the best he can.
And I
because
did not do that.
That's who he's always been.
Did you write weekly updates?
He's not just trying to.
I didn't write them.
Yeah. Where was your weekly updates, Chris? Where were your fucking?
I was on the show every Friday night. And I told everybody what was going on.
And you didn't say shit. So like whatever, you don't get credit.
Dirk.
Okay.
Hold up a sec though. Hold up a sec though. Dirk. One thing you got to remember here though is the question that was posed to Dirk was about face tanking on the forums, which Brisk absolutely did.
You abandoned us, bro.
Well, he did.
No, you abandoned us
when he fucking face tanked. But like that wasn't his call.
Well, I think
the difference.
The difference in my style.
What? He strapped his hands to the keyboard.
We're trying to talk to a CSM.
We're on to Dunk. Before this becomes the Dunk and Dirk show, okay? It's like, just relax a second, okay? Dunk, tell us what you think.
Well, everyone has a different style. I think Brisk was very comfortable going and kind of arguing and not in a pejorative way, but wrestle in the mud with anyone. And he's very comfortable with that. I'm not as comfortable with that. You'll see me interact. I may be a little bit sarcastic. You'll see my technique of asking them a question, which I'm trying to point out how they're being ridiculous, but I'm not to try and get in their face and make them feel bad about themselves. But if I can't take it, I will just remove myself from the situation and send a note to you, Dirk McGurk, saying this is fucking crazy, and then I'll go walk away from my computer for a little bit. So I don't feel like I'm face tanking. I'm trying to be helpful where I can, but I don't feel it's anybody's job to come and take all the heat of an angry player base.
But I appreciate the fact that you are doing at least some of that, because that's something that I feel like that is somebody on the CSM has to do that, because there has to be somebody out there showing the flag, or that's when the community really gets pissy with, oh, these guys never talk to us. It's just an elite club. They don't want to listen to what regular people have to say.
Not for the CSM, they don't. But you know what? It's great for the CSM that somebody does. But you know what? It's better that that individual is the one that's out there fucking doing it, because that means they mean it. They're not out there doing it on behalf of. They're doing it because that's who they are. And every single one of those motherfuckers that have been out there over the years who have been the communicators have been the ones that were naturally communicators. And Dunk was that for years before he got on the fucking CSM.
Dunk just wants his salvage drone too. It's like, let's
as
not
long as he
talk
can
him
get
up
that
here.
too. Like I'm not saying he doesn't have a fucking like
That's his
underlying
agenda.
motive here.
I do want to point out one thing, that in my campaign video, I campaigned for the deselect all in the redeeming queue, and if you go to your redeeming queue, there is now a deselect select
There
all.
is.
There you go. Already accomplished.
I can take no credit, but I will do a victory lap.
No, don't do that. You were on the CSM. The change happened. Take all the credit. It was all.
We're ignoring the salvage drones too here. Like,
salvaging.
There's
is
a lot
for
of months
losers.
left. There's a lot of months
you're
left.
changing the subject.
Never not
Dunk,
take credit.
I'm just gonna echo Brisk's comment here, Dunk, and put a slight addendum. You're on the CSM. Take credit, or Aerith will.
Correct.
Oh God.
Yes.
Absolutely take credit before Aerith can.
Well, I'll just say one more thing about the CSM stuff, because I'm gonna have to get off in a little bit. But being that I have like a teeny window into what's actually going on at CCP, right? And I'm just starting to see what's, how the sausage is made. And then when I see something is announced or discussed or whatever publicly, and then to see the community, how they react to it, as if like all has been revealed, like Half-Life 3, and then you kind of know what's actually happening, it is a very kind of dissociative event. It is it feels almost like you're not a player anymore when you go like, those people are fucking clueless because I know the facts, and it's a very strange feeling to have.
Isn't that so much fun?
No,
Hold on, Dunk.
But the
Dunk,
worst
seriously.
part about that is you can't tell anybody. That's the thing. That's what
he's saying.
Yeah,
he's
there's 9 people I can
see
talk
what they're
about.
saying,
Don't
and
do
I
that,
can't
'cause then you get
communicate
banned.
with them to help them. Dunk, which did you prefer? Did you prefer being fucking ignorant, but like happy speculative, or knowing what you know
No.
and can't talk?
Sorry, team. I'm talking.
That's a hard question,
I
dude.
think the surprise of what's going to happen at, what's going to happen with an event, what's going to happen at
Vegas?
Are you
telling me something's
whatever.
going to happen in Vegas?
There is a surprise of waiting to see of what's in Hobo Leaks, of what is going to get revealed. There is a suspense in that is kind of evaporating for me. So I'm kind of losing that, but hopefully it's balanced.
Which do you prefer? The ignorant bliss of the masses, right? Or like being on the inside of the sausage grinder?
It's like, which is my favorite, buffalo wings or pizza? Like it's you like both of them, right? But it's like I'm giving up that.
I can
surprise.
name one. I mean, like
I'm giving up that surprise.
Seriously, all I'm hearing is that the CSM is what's gonna kill Dunk's enthusiasm.
By the way, we got Pro God Legend.
That's why they call it people
I
being retired.
Actually, you know what? Actually, belay my
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
comment
Pro
about
God.
we have Pro God Legend out
Yeah,
there.
Dunk,
Fuck you. He doesn't need to leak NDA shit.
Oh my God! Nobody needs.
All right,
to
Pro
leak
God,
that.
Pro God. Right, you guys want some leaks? You guys want some leaks? Ready? Are you ready? Pink skins.
No.
In fact, what I'm hearing here is the media is asking Dunk all of these questions about process and how things going, and Dunk is very, very skillfully navigating the question without actually answering anything. I think he's going to do just fine.
I'm very pleased with that, because my biggest concern is when we ask people questions like that they're going to get banned.
I'm gonna go ahead.
I'm just doing a shot to my man, fucking Dunk. Okay, who I think is a skillful.
We love Dunk.
Negotiator with
I haven't
at
done
the
anything
table,
yet.
and he's also skillful here talking to us when we're trying to
Can't Pro
pry
God
all
break
the
his
secrets
CSM
out
yet?
of him.
Or
All
his
I know about
NDA?
Dunk
do on open comms
is he
We
hands
try
you like
and
5
pry
shot
all the
glasses.
Can
secrets
Pro God talk about
And-
stuff from his NDA yet, or has it not been enough time?
No, he's not.
Pro
he's
God
not got
can't.
enough time.
No.
He's got
God damn it.
Pro
Pro God,
Pro
suck
God
my
is
dick.
legit good man.
Next year,
God
alright,
bless
alright.
Pro God. Grow your beard back, motherfucker.
But here's the thing, right?
Wait,
He-
No,
I haven't seen
no,
him
no.
without the
My boy
beard.
Bresco says
Oh,
his
shit.
beard being gone makes him look sexier.
His real beard.
I haven't seen it.
If he's got a beard on right now, whatever. It's not. See, exactly. My beard is back. What? Your beard now is not your fucking beard then. Please stop pretending.
Post
All right, you
pics,
guys
Pro
freaked me out.
God.
I thought he
I wanna see
shaved
your
his
fucking
beard.
line
He
You guys
head.
are
had
fucking freaking me
facial
out.
hair, but that wasn't his beard from when he was the legit Pro God
It's
Legend.
still a beard. Come on. It's not like he's clean
LPGL.
shaven.
Just saying. That being said, I did want to throw a shout out there to the Dunk Inkle kind of webpage. I will throw it out there once again for those of you who are looking for this. You can also find it on places like I don't know, like TotalEve.com or like whatever. For where he like throws his shit out. He doesn't throw it out on TotalEve.com. We're just like an aggregator of that stuff. But I do want to move off into this. Can we move off into this other thing?
Before you move off, I would like to say thanks to Dunk for coming on the show. I would love it if other CSM members that wanted to come on the show would come on the show so we could talk to them, especially Olmeca, so I can make fun of him.
I'm not going to lie. There's going to be one night where
no, you be nice to Olmeca.
It is just a really
I'm
tight...
always nice to Olmeca.
I'm just making fun of him is not nice.
It's a really tight
I'm totally going to make fun of him.
As long as you're not a modsy like someone in this chat.
Okay? We're going to have that night on lockdown. I am literally going to name it on Talking in Stations. I'm sorry, not Talking in Stations, because I don't do a show there.
Put the show in slow mode?
On INN.
Are we going to have to wait 5 seconds before we say things?
I'm going to name it Open Comms Gold that night he's here.
I want to go ahead and say
then we're going to go all fucking crazy on it.
I really enjoyed
Nope, Dirk, you got to wait for another 5 seconds. You stopped.
I really enjoyed Olmeca tonight. It was great fun. Talking to Olmeca was interesting. And Olmeca Gold. We were talking to him in the TIS Discord, and he still managed to fuck it up by claiming that Open Comms was the same as the news website. Like,
isn't it?
All of INN is the same thing.
Let me just say
we're literally the same thing, bro.
Arendis, I use good grammar on the show because of you.
All of the narratives.
Olmeca doesn't even know that I'm the
fucking do in fact. ProGod, no one can hear me. I don't know if you actually subbed or not. I didn't see an alert in chat or on my stream.
Oh, hey, Dirk.
No, my notifications are working. So try it again, because like that's super weird. It should work.
So first thing, Olmeca is a good dude. He's trying very hard. You may not agree with the way he presents his argument or his argument and all that stuff, but he is doing his absolute best to represent the people that elected him, to do what he thinks is best for the game. He is not dumb in any way, and I would advise everyone stay away from any personal attacks, right? This guy is really trying hard, putting up with a lot of stuff to try and get his point of view across. Whether you agree or not, there's a lot of integrity in what he's trying to do.
Here's the thing, Dunk, right? I don't think that he is trying to sabotage anything. I absolutely agree that Olmeca, as an elected representative who made it to the CSM, is trying to do his utmost best. As I would expect anybody who manages to make it to the CSM as an elected individual is trying to do. I believe that these people are trying to do their best to guide EVE into a better future, and I believe that they're doing their best to maintain and improve the game that we all enjoy. What I don't appreciate is Olmeca coming into a chat channel on Discord and telling me that I'm drinking some Kool-Aid because I have posited an opinion that I put out there on my own.
That's his shtick,
because I'm a representative of an organization.
Kool-Aid.
I mean, we're all drinking a Kool-Aid.
While the Makani comes into the same
I'm drinking
Discord,
Mike's Hard. What the fuck are y'all talking about?
Me too, actually. Mike's harder. What do you got?
Yeah, Mike's Harder strawberry.
All the ratings.
Strawberry pineapple. Oh.
No, right. Here's the thing that Olmeca told us. Apparently, INN is spinning a narrative, and I will not disagree that generally we have an opinion and we put it out there.
So when you say we like that, that makes it sound like you're not forming an opinion of your own, that it makes it sound like you're forming an opinion of a group.
Hey, but sometimes a fucking narrative needs to be spun in multiple yarn swaths.
Spin a narrative? If you guys want to talk shit about the Peel narrative, I'll talk shit about the Peel narrative.
Here's the thing, Rain. If Olmeca wanted to write an article for INN's Words website, Olmeca could write that, and we'd pretty much publish it. And
pretty much.
If we changed,
well, we'd edit it for grammar and shit.
Here's the thing: if we changed anything significant, Olmeca would have the opportunity to go to Reddit and say, "INN changed this, and this."
Last I checked, INN wasn't allowed on Reddit, was it?
Like, Well, no, but Olmeca's allowed on
I
X.
remember hearing that at one point.
I hear what you're saying, but INN can be viewed by basically no one as an impartial, neutral ground for discussion of EVE topics.
But nobody
is completely neutral for Imperium.
So all I'm saying is, just don't make it. Why not? Because it isn't.
No, seriously.
Look, regardless of whether it's got a narrative or whatever, or it's tied to a group in the game, it doesn't matter. The whole point is, you guys are not gonna turn down content.
Time out. I do want to differentiate. I do want to. Hold on, everybody, literally, shut the fuck up for just one moment.
Oh God.
I do want to differentiate here for one moment. Like, Dunk, this show. Do you think that this show is fucking biased? Like.
Yeah, Dirk, you're fucking sitting here sucking some Matani dick. Hello?
Is there a difference between making a fucking joke and I'm actually fucking biased? Is that what you actually?
I mean, I don't know. You tell me, Mr. Modsy.
No.
There's a place for everyone on Twitch, Dirk.
Anyways, Dunk.
Let's talk about what Dunk thinks for a second.
Dirk, other Dirk, chill for 1 second.
My opinion is that most of the articles that are published on INN have a definite
opinion fucking section of the journal. I get you.
Dirk, he's talking.
The
Shut up.
Part of things?
He's answering your question, Dirk. Stop. He's answering your question.
So when I read the quote news parts of the articles about what happens, as usually in an uninvolved third party, they are biased in one direction over another. So that's my opinion. Right?
The news articles, I get. We're not talking about the fucking INN Street Journal. I get it.
I actually want to address.
We're talking about the overall Murdoch or Matani Empire, or wherever the fuck this is, right? Because
Dirk and Dunk, let me address your point, sir. One, Dirk is right. We put out the opinion of our writers. So, like, if our writers are a member of the Imperium, they're gonna be an Imperium narrative. But we have writers that are members of Pandemic Horde. We have writers that are members of Wormholes. They put out their opinions.
Name one.
Merc Thanatos is a member of Pandemic Horde. Merc Thanatos is a member of Pandemic Horde.
Clearly a Horde spy. Nice try. Next.
We have Iron Armada members. We have
Ketrialva is an independent who took space in tribute.
Yes.
We have
There's all those people, but I'm telling you, as an uninvolved third party, there's no way to look at INN and not see that it has a definite
Agreed.
bias.
I'm not saying we don't have a
read at INN. When you're talking, if you had the INN show, fine. But you got the fucking Open Com show. I'm specifically asking about the Open Com show.
And we have two members of fucking Initiative in here right now who are just like fucking sucking some dick. Like, okay, Pando.
I'm really trying to ask.
There
are. Can see this.
When it comes down to it, yes, there's going to be some bias.
Wait,
in some
does that
articles,
mean you're sucking Elise's dick right now?
When you're talking,
I said two members, not me, Iron.
When Arendis is writing an article about some change, like his last article that he wrote about the blackout, stuff like that, that doesn't have a bias. That's just him telling people what he thinks. Now, yes, there are going to be stories like a story about a fight that happened in the game. Yes, there's going to be bias there. But when you're talking about like content stuff and EVE changes and things like that, I don't see a whole hell of a lot of bias. And they'll present both sides. If Omeka wants to write an article about why crabs suck and he's super awesome hunter man because he goes out with 45 alt accounts at the same time, that he can. Nobody's going to tell him he can't.
I was literally the fucking guy at fucking EVE Toronto in the back of the room going, CSM gold, motherfuckers. Okay, because you know what? I knew what it fucking meant from that standpoint. Look, I'm just not going to take this motherfucking bullshit that this fucking show is somehow biased towards the Imperium.
Dirk, we're so biased though, right?
We are talking about biased towards the Imperium.
Okay, wait. Dirk.
Wait. You, because you know what? During the goddamn casino...
You're fucking in Imperium, you sucking dick sucker! You're in Imperium! We're not talking about the show. We're not talking about the show. When they say INN...
I am talking about
Okay, that's fine.
You might not be talking about the show.
Well, let's stop talking about the show. That's not the subject
you know what? Back in the fucking day...
Dirk, you're doing this! You're doing this! Stop.
Somebody fucking word sack Dirk already. Like,
we're not talking about, when we talk about INN, we're not talking about open comms. Let's just clarify that.
Thing, right?
Let's just clarify that.
That's what I was asking.
Okay.
I just want to.
So INN excluding open comms.
I just want to be clear. When we were talking in Station's Discord earlier on, fucking Olmeca Gold mentioned INN. And then he went, hey, the streams are more biased than the Words website. And that was a thing that he said. So
which triggered Dirk and Arendis because it's the same people that do both.
But it should trigger Arendis in the
Did
same way that it should trigger
Eric.
And
kick him?
And
is that what you did?
Hey, let's
you
not
guys
talk
are
about
everyone.
I did get
from what I care about
because I basically told Olmeca that his reading comprehension skills seemed poor, and that was taken.
That's bad. You're gonna get banned for saying that on TIS.
I love the fact that Arendis got a moderation message.
Yeah, get timed out, bud. Hello? Like,
no, he didn't.
It's not the spirit of talking in stations. Just go to Kugu, okay?
I'm gonna take off because this is usually the point where I can't take it anymore. So I'll just say this. Just like I don't want myself to be face tanking the community and getting a lot of unworthy kind of attacks toward me, I don't want that for anybody on the CSM. And I definitely don't want it for Olmeca. Like, if you can disagree with him, that's fine.
Do you want it for us on Open Comms?
For you, Dirk, especially. But everyone else, be nice to each other.
Especially not, right?
Look, hey, I just want to raise up. When I give Olmeca shit, it's 95% playful. Because he gives me shit, I give him shit back, we go back and forth. That's just what we do. So I'm going to give him shit. I'm not going to not give him shit, especially since he won. And I have to give him shit now that he won. Yes, and I know and I appreciate the fact, Dunk, that you're saying that he's doing a good job and he's trying to represent his constituents. I know he's not trying to represent the entire game because he told me in good authority that that's impossible. So at least I know that he's representing the people that he thinks elected him.
The thing about it with Olmeca is that he's trying to represent the people that he thinks are right, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's entirely what politics is. It's about representing the people that are on your wavelength, the people that you understand. But to sit there and have this argument about, you know, who is right and who is wrong on an organizational level, to suggest that the reason that I'm criticizing his idea that Black Ops battleships should have a fucking Cyno inhibitor because, you know, that's a good idea.
Oh, man.
Because I'm drinking Imperium Kool-Aid? No, I just think it's a bad idea.
All right, I don't know what just triggered Dirk, but he got mad and jumped up and left. So that was pretty
funny. I've been
I think he has
seeing...
something else.
Did somebody mute Dirk on?
No, he's not muted.
He had. I think he had something else to do.
Did he mute himself?
He jumped up like he forgot something.
I've not heard him.
To Dirk 2's point, okay, one of the things that I legitimately get annoyed with Olmeca about, and this is not like joking, I'm serious. He has a tendency to tell the people that are involved in a specific thing that he knows more about it than they do. And I think that's what happened this afternoon with TIS was he's telling you guys he knows more about INN and the bias than the people that actually run the site. Like he said the same thing to me about American democracy and the mother. I'm like, I do this for a living. I know, but I know this better than you do.
And he talks about it in the same way for.
Well, you say you're not referring to me, right?
No, we're talking about Olmeca.
Okay.
This is part of Olmeca's.
Holy shit! I just came back and I'm sitting there going, "Wait, you don't mean me, right?"
It's part of his, way of.
Because I'll legit tell you about American democracy.
Gaining friends and influencing people. Dirk, what did you jump up and run off for? Like all pissy about?
No, I did that just merely for Twitch stream effect. It was like I just had to go take a piss and shit and get a beer and whatnot.
You got my wife all excited that you.
I know. She's like, holy shit, Dirk's fucking mad. It's
she loves it. She loves it when you go crazy.
There was a perfect time where I had to go fucking take a piss and get a beer, and it was like then I did it. And
my wife does not give a rat's fuck that I'm on the show. She watches this for Dirk being drunk. That's all she watches.
God damn it! You know what? People
that's why I
stop that.
I'm not kidding.
You only make me do it more, and I don't want to do that.
She texts me in the night like Dirk is not drunk enough.
I'm trying to live my better life.
But yeah.
Okay, with that pause, I'm gonna take my leave because I'm going on vacation. I was
God bless you, Dunk.
Where are you going?
Catch you in a bit. Enjoy your holiday.
We're going up the coast to wine country and ride bicycles. So everyone here
didn't
listening,
that place burn the fuck down last year when Matterall went on vacation?
It's not Napa. It's mid California. So
all Matterall's fault. Absolutely.
Like, every time Matterall goes on vacation, some part of California burns.
Well, I don't really drink red wine because it gives me headaches. All of you hearing my voice, you should all undock ships, go pew pew, Get off of the Reddits, get off of the Discords, get off
Should they
of
run
the
a
streams,
Rorqual dunk?
and go play Eve and have some fun.
Should they run a Rorqual?
I agree with Dunk. Now, I want to say something now that Dunk's gone. I would like to say something that may not be popular, but I think this is true. I think that the blackout should be permanent.
Get the fuck out of here.
You know what? I'm okay with this. Like, the blackout is not a bad idea.
I really, really like it.
I don't mind it. I just mind the fact that, like, it makes it, like, so, it's one thing to be like, oh, no free intel, right? But, like, if you're jumping into, like, an enemy fleet and you're like, oh, we're gonna fight, like, if you're not on the same gate, you just, like, completely miss it. So you might jump in system where there's an enemy fleet and you have no fucking idea. You warp to one gate, they warp to the gate that you're at, you guys don't see each other in D-scan, and you completely miss it. And, like, I feel like
it's
that
fucking gimmick.
I feel like
Would
that
you please
sucks.
Stop with the gimmick ass fixes of Eve
good.
Online.
It's a good gimmick.
Fuck
Yeah,
off.
Let's make it permanent.
In isolation, in some other fucking third universe of Eve Online, okay, like maybe
So can I
it should have
can I
existed.
just say, like, me
but the
me
fact
and
of the
Rain,
matter is, in Eve Online as it exists now, it is a fucking gimmick. It is no better than doing these SP giveaways during blackout and then trying to measure all the fucking.
Can I just say
login
something
shit.
real quick?
It is a
How can you
gimmick.
say it's a gimmick when it exists in one?
Because they don't actually have a vision for it. It is just a chaos mode.
It's not a gimmick. They have
I'm with Dirk here. Actually, Briss,
right.
Briss, give me 2 seconds. Let me
Go ahead.
give my opinion on this. I agree with Dirk here. It is a fucking gimmick. They have taken a mechanic that exists in another place in Eve and applied it to the largest area of space they possibly fucking can to get data. And I'm not okay with them basically just going, hey, this mechanic will work everywhere that they want it to. I think that Dirk is right in that it's lazy and it shouldn't have happened in this way. I think you are right in that it is a good thing generally. I think what they should have done is something that's somewhere in the middle, and we should all be looking at how we improve Eve.
So I'm not gonna say it's a gimmick. I just think, like, the blackout's not totally bad. I get it how it's good for some aspects of Eve, but it's not good for a lot of that. Like, for me, for dudes that don't get to sit at home and work from home, like, I do a lot of alt-tabbing, making ISK-wise, and, because I have a house and I got bills to pay, and sometimes I can't always be on comms. And they're saying that this is supposed to drive people to want to do smaller groups and stuff. So a mechanic like this is just going to drive people to be in bigger groups. I mean,
can we just comment very shortly on the fact that it's also a prerequisite for some of the things that were actually planned and discussed about the whole thing with the removing of local and introducing things like territorial race.
Absolutely. I was hoping that the race would be announced already because let's just get it over with. But, like, I just think that taking away local as much as whatever, and we were talking about this not like an hour or two ago on my Corp chat. Like, a lot of MMOs have local, and I've been playing this game since 04 and it's been local, and I know a lot of dudes are having fun hunting, but I also know a lot of dudes that haven't logged in because they're like, yeah, fuck it, I'm just, I make money when I'm at work because I do data and stuff like that, and it's a catch.
That we are no longer getting any roadmaps, right? So we are not privy to what is actually around the corner. It's a little bit frustrating, but it does add a little bit more mystery to the game. And I
agree with Mike. If you don't want local, there's wormholes. See you later.
That's physically not true. We are getting roadmaps, and this has been said to me.
What's announced within the next 6 months of CCP?
No.
I'm asking you, Dirk. What's coming up within Eve within the next 6 months?
Don't ask me.
I'm not saying, Rain, that we're getting.
I asked you a question. What are we getting? Because I want to know. Like, I genuinely want to know what's within between now and, say, Vegas, or now and the end of the year.
About structures that will change something
anyone
about fucking blackout.
We already got the VNI nerfs. Where are the slaves?
Regardless of
shield slaves?
whether there is a
where's the cap or shield rework? Like, where is this? Like, no one knows. No one fucking knows.
Like, in Amsterdam, we heard that we were getting implant changes in July and August.
And it is July 26th.
Now
July 26th.
And have we got shield slaves? Yeah,
it'll happen.
But
it'll happen.
They have to.
They also have to rework
require-
shield
My ass
and
will get
cap
pregnant.
regen,
All the
right?
mods too. So
And I'm
it's not
still
just-
waiting.
Not
I'm
just
still waiting
shield,
on
I
that.
think
Like,
they're looking at
yeah,
everything,
yeah,
aren't they?
shield and cap regen, right? To affect shield slaves. I get that. But when is that happening? Like that's my question.
When my ass gets pregnant.
And if you say June, what'd you say, June? Like
So soon?
No,
Soon.
I don't have.
But you said we had. You said we had a roadmap.
No, I said that CCP's roadmap is gonna be driven by the law. That's what they've been saying for months now. If you've actually talked to the devs, the
Yeah,
devs
I
are
haven't, and they haven't
It's
told
not
me
a roadmap.
shit.
Look, it's not a
Well, I'll
roadmap.
tell you flat, guys. Look, I'll tell you
There's
flat.
nothing.
There's
We
a
have
roadmap.
absolutely nothing.
There is a roadmap.
Is it an evolving
CSM
roadmap?
The CSM has seen the roadmap. It's not a public roadmap, but there is a roadmap that does
Yeah.
exist.
Yeah, but we're not
it's-
privy
and
to
they've
it
said
anymore.
It's
that.
not
We used
that
to be.
people are
That's not
being
me
told
leaking
it,
anything.
but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. What it means is that we aren't privy
That's not
to
what
it.
I said.
and-
I said we can't see it anymore like we could in the past. So we do not actually know if these things are prerequisites or things that is opening up for a possibility of the next iteration of the roadmap. If you go back and look back when we did have a roadmap, some of these things we knew in detail what was going to come in before the next thing could actually happen.
I've actually missed. Have they announced the next structuring yet? Anything
No, they
else?
haven't.
Nope, they
there's
haven't announced any new
structures.
structures. They haven't announced anything. I mean, they didn't even announce when the
with
VNI
Blackout,
change
the
is
next,
coming.
The communication structure is coming.
No,
I
that's
Yeah,
not
because it's a
speculation.
That's
You
been
guys do
hinted
realize
at?
it's
Not
fucking
really.
summer in
It's not a
Iceland.
it's not speculation. It's the prerequisite. It's why they had to change the chat thing. It's all of these things are tied to the fact that we discussed how something like observatory arrays was supposed to actually be implemented. Because as they said back then, they had to push it out because it was not technically feasible.
Caleb,
Guys,
it
look, I'll tell you flat out. And Dirk just said it,
speculation.
but nobody listened to you guys. Nobody listened to him because you guys were all talking.
Why
Here's
did
the
they
thing.
not listen to me?
One.
Am I not fucking Dirk?
Yeah, you're Dirk. You're one of two Dirks tonight. That's why they're not listening.
know.
First, it's summer. Nothing's gonna happen now. Don't expect.
They
anything
just released
crazy.
an
Things are
update
happening.
yesterday. They
All
released
this-
a patch
this-
yesterday. Don't add me with that
There
garbage.
was a patch yesterday of
Literally-
changes that they
literally
announced like
except for
6
shit
months
that they
ago.
put on
No, they didn't
fucking
announce it
cruise
6 months
control
ago. They
before
announced
went
it
away.
They announced
1 month
VNI
ago.
changes
They announced them
in
1 month ago.
Amsterdam.
Toronto. No, it was
Except
Toronto.
for the thing
Right.
that I
1
want to bring
month
up now,
ago.
because we've
Toronto.
only got
All right,
because
so it
we've
was a
only
month
got
ago.
But then they
29
announce
guys
it,
left.
release it, and then
Because we've
hide
only
the
got
patch
how much
notes in
time
another
left. Look, the
update. Like
bottom
what?
line is-
let's
guys should
not talk about just the VNIs.
You should
Let's
not be
talk about the
expecting-
drifters. Let's talk about the
Okay,
nullsec
drifters,
blackout. They're
and-
doing stuff in summer, Brisk.
You're not. Yes, I'm not saying they're not going to.
That's all scripted shit.
What I'm
It's all
saying is you're
scripted
not
shit.
going to
It's
get
major
like.
could have done that.
You just got a teaser today. That
I mean,
that's
let's be
RP
honest,
and
the drifter
law-based,
thing was
and
kinda
Dirk
fucking
just mentioned
half-assed.
that's the new
All right,
method,
Did I not just
all
hear?
right.
All you
Okay,
guys say this
look,
was gimmicks.
No.
Did I
It's
not
not
just hear
gimmicks.
that?
It's major changes.
They're not major changes. They're gimmicks. That's what I just heard. You guys calling them gimmicks.
No local
Some of
is
the
a
shit is
major
Whoa,
change.
I didn't say
It
that.
was a
Dirk
gimmick.
number 2, man.
It was
Let's
a
have
gimmick.
shot for you, bro.
We did say that.
Jeez.
Okay. However, we're gonna move off into something that I believe is a little more kind of higher level and visionary and stuff like that, because we've only got 28 minutes left of the show, and I
I
swear
don't
to
care about
fucking
higher
God,
level
we're
visionary.
not-
I want
we're-
answers.
We're not going on another. We're not going on another minute over what should have been the scheduled part of this show. I'm throwing it out there into fucking Twitch chat now. Look, you heard my fucking click when I hit the keyboard and shit, because I got a mechanical keyboard. Okay, but here's the fucking deal.
I want to point out that I've tried to segue us into that twice.
I
already
know.
Look,
But you know what?
guys
Sometimes...
can segue us. Most people have not heard it, so what are we going to talk about? Should I
All right,
even hear?
hold on. Most people have not heard it, which is why I'm going to begin this with saying, if you have not heard it, you should actually go out there and listen
Okay,
to
wait,
it.
Dirk.
Not while the show
So
is
the
on,
next
no,
29
Dick.
minutes, go take
Hold
2
on a
hours and
second.
listen to it.
Hold on a
You
second.
need to wait a half an hour to listen
Let-
to this until
let
after the
me-
show is over.
Let me
That's what I'm
phrase
telling you.
it. Let me phrase it in a way that will make fucking sense, because it's not like I don't have a fucking plan for doing that. Okay, I want people to go into
I don't
this
know if
not
you do.
thinking that like you're gonna find out what the Talking in Stations interview with Hilmar was. Okay, by the way, this is the Talking in Stations interview with Hilmar.
Did they ask him
and
questions,
then-
or did
and
they
then
just
off on the-
softball him
And then
some
off
shit?
on the side was Falcon and what was his name? Goodyear or
Goodfellow.
Goodfellow?
Goodfellow.
Okay. Okay.
Good year.
Don't you blaspheme.
I
Goodfellas the
wasn't-
man.
Okay, here's the fucking deal. All right, they had an interview that I had really super low expectations for, because I know so many of you out there enjoy the idea of a fucking messiah at the top of EVE Online. You did it for Seagull. You did it for Hilmar back in the fucking day. You did it when Hilmar came back after Seagull left.
Dirk.
Okay? And you thought that like running PI and living in a wormhole was like a hard dick fucking method.
Were they hard questions that they asked him?
Actually played in the goddamn game.
If they weren't hard questions, I don't give a fuck.
I'm gonna tell you right
Sorry.
now, this is something that you should listen to.
Why? So we can listen to softball questions? What kind of questions were they?
Hey, hold on a second.
No, I'm asking because you're fucking rambling.
Didn't listen to shit.
You're rambling. I don't give a shit. You're rambling.
Just
answer the question.
Let me get through my thing, and then you can take this wherever the fuck you want to go. I'm going to say
Finish.
This.
Let's go.
If you have read an article that Hilmar has talked in, if you have heard Hilmar speak in an interview out there anywhere,
Finish.
This is the one that actually opens his brain up to what the ideology of EVE Online has been from the start. And
He's
where
still
they
rambling.
Up
They can't hear me.
where they may
He's
go
still
in
rambling.
The future. This has got
they may
no
go or they're
details.
going to go.
This has got no details about what your fucking bullshit.
So I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck.
No.
If it's some hierarchy fucking like visionary bullshit, I don't give a fuck. No. Ask some hardball questions. Ask some serious questions. Give me some fucking answers about what's going on for the future of EVE, or I don't give a fuck.
I want everybody here right now. I want everybody here right now to please, Rain. What's your opinion?
If you're not asking hardball questions, if you're not asking of the future of EVE, if you're not asking what's actually coming in EVE, I don't give a fuck. You can sit there and have whoever the fuck.
I want everybody to
you
shut
can
up
sit
while
there.
Rain talks.
You can sit there and have whoever the fuck you want talk about what they think they want EVE to be, but that doesn't fucking matter if they're not actually implementing. If they don't give you a plan to implement. Don't fucking care. If you're not gonna ask hard-hitting questions, if you're gonna follow up with those hard-hitting questions, don't give a fuck. Don't give me some bullshit of, oh, I have this vision of EVE. I expect EVE to be this. I expect EVE to be that. How are you going to make it happen? When is it going to happen? If those aren't asked, don't give a fuck. Like, that's great. You want EVE to be hard. You want EVE to be tough. You want EVE to be chaos. Don't give a fuck unless you're going to actually make it happen.
When did you ever hear CCP answer questions that were asked like you just requested? Seriously, when?
Well, usually, I usually ask those in person. But again, like, they don't answer that shit. Like, I mean, I've asked Falcon that shit.
So why would we fucking do
Oh yeah, in Toronto, I would ask Falcon questions, and Falcon would say,
if your answer is, I asked Falcon, who the fuck are you even asking?
Well, that's the point, right? Like, Falcon can say all he wants, but then he follows it up with, I'm not a dev. He says, who's the designer? 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 Who's the designer, Dirk? Answer the question. Hilmar's a designer? Hilmar's a dev? Hilmar's fucking coding CCP? Is that what you're gonna tell me?
You don't have the background to understand what came before.
Hilmar's a designer, guys, right?
Yes,
I can talk without them listening to me. Oh, he's a CEO. He can dev, right? Like, he can code. Hilmar can go. Oh yeah.
Is the guy in that
Hilmar's coding. Hilmar's
the
doing what? Hilmar's coding? No. Hilmar's doing what? Hilmar's the design dev? No.
I'm gonna go out there right now. Hold on, I need everybody to hold on.
You can't mute me, you fucking retard! I'm the fucking streamer here, bitch! You can suck my dick!
His job is to provoke us to go and get things done, not tell us what or how to do.
Here's the thing. Yeah. In that fucking interview, which I have listened to multiple times, Hilmar mentions that he wrote multiple, even hundreds of lines of code.
And he's actively coding it now,
the market. No, he's talking about doing this years ago, but so it doesn't matter. He talked about, the idea about whether or not stations should have.
Don't give a fuck if they're not doing it now.
Space. Exactly. Whether or not people should offshore things in the market. And I'm looking at a Google Doc right now that has a chunk of issues with this interview that aren't to do with what Hilmar are talking about, but are to do with the questions that weren't asked. Let's talk about the questions that weren't asked.
No, hold on. listen.
This is back to the.
Listen to me. As much as I would like to talk about the questions that weren't asked,
reply to.
I'm on the inside, right? I'm on the fucking inside. I wasn't on that fucking interview. I went in with massive low expectations. Number one, for the people who were going to ask questions, along with the Messiah that everybody thought came back to the.
Why were your expectations low, Dirk?
Okay,
just out of
my expectations were low. Okay, because number one, when you have some people that want to ask, softball questions, I'm worried about that. And when you also have a CEO of a company who has been gone for several years and who came back and said, I'm doing PI and wormholes, I don't give a shit about that. I give a shit about people who are fucking here and now doing the shit, developing the game, right? Okay, so I had low expectations. He blew my expectations away, which were low. I give you that. Okay. In what way? Because he came back to what the original ideology of EVE Online fucking was. It was not give all you fucking pussies everything at fucking easy mode.
So how's he taking the interview and applying it to the game?
He admitted to mistakes. He admitted to mistakes,
but he
that were made over the years while he was mismanaging.
How is he applying this to the game? How's he applying what said mistakes were to fixing the game?
You can't get there yet. We're not there yet. You can't talk about where the rubber meets the road yet.
Why
I'm
not?
gonna tell you right now, this is now the new high water mark for where to fucking hold them.
Isn't. No, it
Why can't rubber meet the road now?
Because the CEO said this shit. That's the new high water mark for where to hold them.
Okay. It's the new high watermark for where to hold them. Fair enough. But
not pretending Seagull's your fucking savior or any of that shit.
Hilmar came out and said that there are major changes incoming. We're gonna see major changes to the game, apparently, according to Hilmar.
That's what he said. It's not what you should take away from this. You should take away the admission. The admission of
I'm just doing a shot.
Caleb, shut up a second.
Caleb, give me a second. Where the fuck are Talking Station staff actually asking for examples of what the fuck we're seeing coming in?
Do you guys see the
softball questions?
I got to.
Do you guys see
They're softball questions. They don't ask that shit.
I'll say it out loud.
Do you guys see the escalation of interviews? Right, March. Hilmar comes back. Oh my God, I'm playing wormholes and like all that kind of shit. Ain't it all fucking cool?
CCP has been in wormholes for a while.
Very little Talking in Stations interviewers. Fuck Talking in Stations. Don't give a shit. Okay, Talking in Stations people. Very little talk from them. This is Hilmar letting shit roll out of his head, right? I'm not gonna lie. There is another interview that needs to happen. Okay, now what?
Visionary, visions to actual application, right? Like, but no, I'm saying what you're thinking, right? Like, okay, you have all these great ideas, but when the fuck are we going to see them? It sounds great.
You're not saying what I'm thinking.
Okay, go on.
Did you ask that of Seagull?
In all fairness, guys, look, in all fairness, asking the CEO, when is this going to happen? Come on.
Yeah, that's my point.
You're a CEO for a reason.
No.
If you can't make shit happen, then what the fuck is you doing?
I have something
You're
else.
acting like a CEO can say, do this, and it's going to happen in a week.
I have something
Who do we have to talk to?
Can I say something first, though? Because I agree with both you and
talk to
the
Burger
vendors.
and Orca and
there is not enough
detail.
Let Caleb
go.
Can I finish?
Let Caleb go.
He
was on the show.
There is not enough detail in that interview. It's pretty much just spitballing all the things that they intend to do ideologically in the future. And now it's our responsibility to then ask the hard questions.
It's dancing around the
But
edges.
the things that he talked about in that were different than what the fucking boondoggle questions you normally get out of an F1 pusher dev, okay, on anything. Even a fucking F1 vision kind of person out there, okay, they were different. They were sitting there going, yes, we fucked up with anomalies. We fucked up with the ecology of EVE Online.
Duck,
when you say that shit, that fucking like means either A, he's talking shit out of his ass, which I am totally fucking willing to believe, because honestly, I've got no like preconception about the fact of words mean nothing. Words fucking mean nothing. Let the rubber hit the road. But
Duck,
he's one of the few that have said they fucked up.
I spoke to CCP Burger on record in March at Amsterdam, and he was talking about the roadmap and how the roadmap is being guided by the law at the moment.
Yeah,
which will be bad. That should be bad.
You saw that today, right? You saw the rollout of the introduction of the thing that's about to hit very soon, right?
Yeah,
that was
and
rolled
the
out
thing
today.
that's about
that's
to happen,
the new
just
method.
to be clear.
Instead of doing the
Let's
the
talk
huge...
specifics, Caleb. We're talking about a sales tax thing.
Thank you very much for just blabbering that one out.
That's what we're talking about. Let's talk about it in specifics, because if we're talking about the law being the roadmap, let's talk about what they're doing in the law. It's a sales tax thing.
Yeah, and it makes sense to go away from the original keynote-based roadmap presentations, big promises that might not actually come to fruition. This is a really good way of doing it. Letting the law lead the features that are coming in, and announcing it with the Eve journalism instead, because then they don't actually have to live up to any promises that they.
Is that what happened on TIS? Eve journalism?
Hold on a second. Honestly, if you want to bitch about the journalism, you just can't, because you know what? The mere fact of the matter is, they really didn't actually fucking ask like more questions. They didn't, because that guy was willing to sit there and rattle off his fucking head. But there is another interview that has to happen. And if it doesn't fucking happen, okay, that's because they're just hiding shit at that point.
Yeah, like I said, I'm looking at a list of questions that weren't asked, a list of follow-ups that weren't asked, and realistically, I do not think that the TIS staff that were in on that interview actually did a good job of allowing the CCP members to talk about what they wanted to talk about. I think there is more that needs to be done. We need to actually figure out what they were trying to get.
It was 2 hours, and the TIS staff literally talked it off.
Seriously, do you know who was actually on the show, Dirk? Seriously, the three people that were on the show does not have the actual answers you're looking for. Because they don't have those specifics.
No, they don't.
It was the brand
specifics.
manager, it was the community manager, and it was the CEO. They don't have the answers to your
This is what we've been saying for years, though.
Caleb,
this is what we've been saying for years. That, you know what? Fucking management has been lacking. Okay, development fucking resources has been lacking. All that kind of shit, right? But certainly management on how to focus these motherfuckers into a goddamn way that, like, you know, actually brings it about. At least this one guy understands the ideology of it.
Seriously, please, can I address what Caleb was saying there? Hilmar mentioned multiple times specific retention numbers. How many players are making it past character creation per week? And nobody followed up on it.
Oh, did you really want us to hit him with that? Because that is the most focused analysis of the player retentions I've ever seen. I wouldn't want to shit on him for that, because it was
did you want to waste time on fucking, like, you know, underlying data? Like,
I think
actually
the CCP
care about underlying data when it comes to, like, login numbers?
You all are arguing about what happened in an interview that almost nobody has fucking heard yet. If you want to talk about the interview,
it's because you're fucking lazy.
Give us at least a week to listen to the fucking thing.
I mean, we don't really have that high of expectations.
One thing you should notice: one of the things where he was more specific was the fact that about the actual code that he knows, because he actually wrote it. Things that are happening to the market is exactly what we could get some answers about, and we got that. We didn't get all the details because that would be problematic, because someone could then speculate on it, and then we would have leak issues and stuff like that. But Caleb, he did actually answer a lot of questions directly about market-related stuff. And
Caleb,
it was almost
all softballs.
I feel like if you guys are going into listening to a interview with a CEO of a company that's not just Eve, but also all of their other titles, and all you want to hear about is like design changes in Eve, come the fuck on. That's not what he's going to talk about. Come on.
It was all softballs. That's
what do you expect? The CEO, the community manager, and the fucking brand manager.
Now here's the thing. Dirk and I talked about this because both of us had a lot of criticisms of the last interview that TIS did with Hilmar, that it was a lot of fanboyism and it wasn't a lot of hard-hitting questions. And Dirk said it was much better this time. So I will give them the benefit of the doubt till I listen to it, that it was better than it was the last time.
I'm fucking man up and listen to it. I'm gonna tell you straight up right fucking now. That interview that happened back then was like an introduction of, like, wow, who is fucking Hilmar? This one opened his fucking brain up. Like, honestly, I could have cut that fucking brain out myself. and like not gotten more out of this.
Right.
I'm not
there's
saying.
a couple of things.
Let his mouth
Dirk,
move and go.
Fucking chill a sec, Dirk.
Yeah, I'll chill.
There's a few things that people need to remember. First off, Caleb, stop getting so defensive. You're definitely sounding a bit that way. Dirk is not trying to insinuate that you specifically did a shitty job or anything. I
totally meant he did a shitty
job.
Not
you.
No,
yeah.
no.
The other Dirk too.
Me yelling.
Shut up.
I totally meant he did a shitty job because I would have mentioned my name during that.
Nah, I yelled for a while, and I wasn't trying to attack Caleb. I was just saying that it was
we can't expect a CEO to be going and giving all of these specifics. All right, but Caleb, do have to recognize that there were topics where the job of the interviewer isn't just to let the interviewee talk. It's to help the interviewee. It's to help the interviewee stay focused. And there were a bunch of questions where the TIS staff did not help with the focus. They basically just rambled on for a bit and left it with, yes, go tell us exactly what you told us all over again.
Yeah, there was not enough.
Horrendous.
Can I answer that? Can I just answer that? Because there was no.
Before you answer it, Caleb, let me just say, look, guys, these guys do not meet the press. It's not Howard Stern. Okay, cut them some slack.
We're not saying.
But the point is, I do agree that there was not enough follow-up to get some more detail on each individual comment, remark, and question. But I'm just saying that we got 2.5 hours of Hilmer's, the CEO's, time to actually rake and pull out all of his ideas and ideologies about Eve. And the fact that he's back in the seat, actually caring about it, I am very excited about this, because if only 50% of what he promised is going to come into the game, it's going to get fixed, and we're going to get out of this rut.
No.
Okay. He didn't really promise much.
No, he didn't promise fucking anything. Okay, and here's one of the things, okay? As fucking hyped as I am about this interview, and I don't even want to call it an interview. They didn't really interview him. They just allowed him to explode his own head across the fucking screen.
I think that's what Arendis is trying to say, Dirk. And so Arendis has addressed Caleb, and let Arendis address other people.
Hold on. Caleb is one of the people on that interview that actually probes into some shit from long ago rather than just stroke his fucking cock.
Caleb gave a good question, but let's let Arendis follow his point, because he had a point, and he was trying to get to it.
Red Bull.
I'm just saying that there was that while we can't expect Hilmar to show up on this let's face it, fluff Sunday show, which is basically what it was, even though it was recorded on Wednesday, and be ready to hit the ground running with, here's the details, here's the specifics, here's the hard-coded systems that are going in, and exactly where the semicolons are placed.
Thank you, Emily.
The people who are there on TIS to present themselves as interviewers, and while they're not meet the press, Matterall, Elise, those guys at the very least, they've been around the block enough times, and by now they and Carneros, who love them to death, but they should not be at all starstruck by these guys, because end of the day, Hilmar puts his pants on one leg at a time like everybody else.
Does he? I think he puts them on 3 legs at a time. His ass has to go in first.
They did not do the things that you would expect them to be doing to help him focus and keep the conversation on track.
It did feel a little starstruck.
I do agree with that. A little bit, yeah.
Let's talk about the fact
that it is difficult. Hold on, I'm not gonna lie. When I listened to it the first time, okay, I agreed with you. When I listened to it the second time, I understood. When Hilmar came to TIS and he said, "Hey, what about another fucking interview?" We all sat there and said, "Wow, what the fuck does this guy have to say?" Right? Like what is it he wants to come in saying? He came in wanting to say a lot. He had a fucking plan for doing this. All right.
Okay.
And that was kind of what, like nobody actually wanted to fucking ask him. Wait a second, hold on. If you're like hitting us up, what is it you want to fucking say? This guy wanted to like come out and fucking say shit. And luckily, most of them, okay, because like, you know, Elise, Carneros, Matterall, these are not fucking people that are gonna sit there and like badger a fucking witness, right? Like, they let him speak.
So
he kind of went on his own way. So
here's another thing to address then, Dirk. Like, let's talk about how taking Sovin Nosek is so fucking easy.
No. You're way down in the fucking dirt. You're way down in the dirt of where he is. Okay, I'm not saying
that's my point.
I'm not saying
those are the type of questions that you don't want to ask the CEO of a company.
I'm not saying that you're dumber or like you're lower level or anything like that. Like, you, like most people out there that are talking about this interview right now, are way down in the granular level shit when he is way higher not because he's smarter, okay? Not because he's smarter, okay? But because that was where the level of conversation was. It was in the upper fucking atmosphere because that is where shit broke down years ago and then like rained down over the course of all the fucking years on EVE Online.
Falcon told us earlier this week.
Can we do shots to the fact that it happened? Shots for the fact that it happened, but Dirk, carry on.
Absolutely do shots. But Falcon told us earlier this week that you should not be able to take super capitals through Answer Black's jump bridges because
you're getting extremely specific. That's not the quality of this interview at all. The quality of this interview is about...
Number one, don't listen to Falcon because Falcon don't develop shit.
Guys, you're being very mean to Matterall. He's very upset with you all. So.
No, listen. Can I just mention one thing, and then I will shut up. I promise.
Is he really? I got to look at my channel.
He's very upset.
Is he mad? Should I go look at my channel?
I do have a...
Go check your mod channel, Dirk. You mods.
Let's talk about Caleb. Let's
an INN plot to hate on TIS.
Can I just say that the whole image of
actually, my last thing was
got shot during the Summer of Rage. We all pretty much, or some of us at least, remember that. And he had no hands on the game after that, pretty much. He actually left a little bit before that. The point is, this guy was among the core designers of EVE, and he actually explains very succinctly how the intentions originally was not possible at that time, and now all of these things can actually be included into the game.
No, he's not talking about how all of these things can be included.
Yes, he is.
He's talking about
did
how
say
some
that,
of them
he did say that the changes they're making, blah blah blah, fast forward to incorporate newer technologies and all that stuff.
Let's mention one of the things he talked about a little bit. He talked about things like collision and formation and stuff like that. And some of us was around back in the day when the servers pretty much broke down just because we had this stupid item called a mine in the game.
He's mad at me right now.
There's just things that back in the day was not possible
at
all, and it had to be removed. And
you just give it an opinion. You can't take an opinion, then you should not do the business.
No, that's not what it fucking is. That's not what it fucking is. It's actually because it's more like, why are we not actually focused on what came out of it rather than what we wish would have come out of it? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm in agreement with him here, okay? There ain't one of you motherfuckers that, like, including me that wanted me to be on that fucking show to ask the tough questions. That does not get the fucking answers.
I don't
tough
care.
questions don't get the fucking answers.
Here's the bottom line.
Being a fucking balls up motherfucker after the fact does not get the fucking answers.
It's like I said before. 95% of the people here have not heard this interview yet, so I can't say whether it's good or bad. I'm assuming that it's good. Dirk told me that he thought it was good.
Do your homework.
So no,
just like Arendis, I think did. I'm not sure about Dirk,
I think it's valuable. I think actually listening to this interview is a good thing for a lot of EVE players,
I think everybody should listen to
guys.
I think everybody should listen to it, even if you don't like what
I want to mod him.
There's a hell of a lot the fucking Modsy, #Modsy.
Can I mod him?
I don't think many people in here know how much of EVE
I don't want to derail, I just want to ask it out loud.
Who are you modding?
Just a guy.
He's modding me. That's what he wants.
Fucking mod.
No, I just wanted to know. Whatever. Just like, get back on the thing.
Well,
I don't
do you
take
guys
shit
know
in
how
Discord.
much?
The bottom line is, look, guys, I'll tell you flat out. Here's the bottom line. Bottom line, and I say this all the time. It's my verbal crutch, but here's the thing. TIS got the fucking CEO. They did an interview. They've done multiple interviews. Obviously, he is comfortable talking to Matterall and those guys. That's great. I'm happy that I am happy for the first time in years we're getting the fucking CEO of the company to do interviews with Eve Media. This is great.
We're not for the first time in years.
We don't think it's great that they didn't ask questions.
Can I point out that I expect hard-hitting questions?
Like last year.
Is that bad if I?
We had an interview with Hilmar last year. Let's talk about when we did that.
There you go.
Can I? Is it bad if I expect that? Like I expect hard-hitting questions. Like I really don't like softball questions. I like hard questions. I like hard follow-up questions. Is that bad? Like, am I expecting too much?
So let me put you on the spot. What would you have asked Hilmar? That's a hard question. If you had been on the show.
What is your vision of Eve, and how do you expect to achieve that? So whatever the fuck he says.
Legit, honestly, did you just have that fucking typed out and you read it?
No, no. How do you expect to achieve that? No, that's the key point, right? Like, what's your vision of Eve, right? So that's where he can talk whatever he wants, and then I say, how do you expect to achieve that? And so for your information, I'm doing project work in my real job. I'm doing project work in my real job where it gets reported to the CEO, it gets reported to the audit board, it gets reported to the audit committee, the management, like all these fucking like whatever the fuck.
Go read Twitch chat. They're like, holy shit, they fucking asked that.
If that is,
how do you expect to achieve that? How do you expect to achieve that? That was asked.
That is literally.
That was honestly last interview. Actually.
What would he say? What did he say then? Because I still don't have that answer.
That question. One, first of all, besides the fact that it's always asked, that's not a hard-hitting question. That is an elevator speech.
How do you expect to achieve that?
That is asking anybody running for office, why are you running? And why do you think you can win?
By the way, Chris,
that's a question.
No, that's so different. No, I want to say, what are the steps you plan to take to achieve that?
Question. Here's what you ask Hilmar. Hilmar, can you tell us how many people are logging in every day? Are you guys hitting the numbers that you want to hit? Is this company as profitable as you think it should be? And if it isn't, why is it not? And what are you doing to fix it?
Seriously.
You want to ask him business questions. That's what you ask the CEO.
I could ask those too, but I just want to know how he expects to achieve the vision of Eve. Like, that's what I care about. I don't care about whatever the fuck metrics you just said. I don't care about that. What are the steps? How do you plan to achieve that? What are the steps you're taking to achieve that?
My question for the CEO is this game going to last another 5 years?
Hi,
how are you going to make sure that happens?
Another 5 years?
You know, those are the types of
things for those questions. But you did get a lot of
I feel like we're all asking different questions that reach the same thing.
Hold on, Rain. You don't ask a retarded question like, is this game going to last another 5 fucking years? Because honestly, this shit can coast into second base, okay? In the next 5
I mean, so to be fair, we're all asking. To be fair,
yes, it fucking.
To be fair, we're all asking legitimate questions about long-term vision of Eve. That's all. That's what we're asking. Of long-term vision of Eve, and how are you going to get the long-term vision of Eve? Well, we're all asking it in different ways. We're all asking it in different ways. That's my point.
Literally the first question that everybody asks every developer, every interview.
Actually,
and what did Hilmar say? What did Hilmar say?
Right before.
I didn't listen to
I mean, if there was a vision that was
Dirk, what did Hilmar say?
Brandis, you tell us.
Dirk, what did Hilmar say? What did Hilmar say?
I'll tell you what I heard. All right, I tell you the most important thing I heard.
That's what we should actually.
The most important thing I heard about all of this is.
Sorry.
Dirk, didn't you want to end this thing 2 minutes ago?
I don't give. You know what?
Oh yeah,
you know what?
Show's
I don't
over.
give a fuck because INN doesn't have a fucking show after us. So right now, what I actually
all right,
here,
but
hold the fuck on. I want to know what those of you who are on the show right now actually think was the meaning of this interview, and then we'll maybe end the show.
Get ready for an ISK.
We're gonna go for the fucking top down.
No. Before we actually figure out what the fuck people want to say, I want to address, Rain's whole thing of, hey, I want to talk about this as a hardball question. Hilmar specifically said that there are major changes incoming, and nobody asked,
what they are.
Can you give us an example?
But
when,
he
how,
did give you very
what?
specifically what it was.
I mean, like,
he said is
to be fair,
he said
Dirk,
resource
like,
gathering, and he said fuel and upkeep. If
did
you
he
didn't
say
listen
when?
and hear that,
Did he say when?
And who's not following up?
When, how?
Caleb, who's not following up?
When,
But
how?
you can't
When
follow
or
up 'cause
how?
You're not going to get that answer, for fuck's
If he
sake.
can't answer, then it's fucking garbage answer. If
know
you
it's not
if you
because
say
follow-up
X
on
is
what
coming
you
and you
said
can't say
about
when
right
or
now.
how,
Come
it's a
on.
garbage answer. Like, oh,
It's not a
changes
garbage
are coming.
answer.
No, that's
It
like
is.
saying, oh,
Look.
changes are coming. You're like, okay, what changes?
I
Oh,
tried to
they're
help you
coming.
regain
Don't
order
worry.
here,
The
Dirk.
changes.
But that's the thing.
Like, that's
I
a
mean,
garbage answer. Sorry.
Whether it's a garbage answer or not, it's the type of follow-up question that you have to ask. But look,
Like,
look, I
hard
don't
question.
want,
You gotta ask
I do
those
not
hard
want
questions.
to.
Asking.
Look, I do not want to sit here and criticize Matterall and the rest of the guys for the interview.
You just mentioned one of the changes,
But-
Dirk, so I don't see what your problem is.
Brisk doesn't want to criticize them because he hasn't listened to the interview yet, and that's
I haven't
fair.
heard it yet.
But
I
and
listened
I'm
before I
fair.
heard it. I'm not going to give him a hard
Seriously.
time before I heard it.
Seriously, that's fair, but you're giving us a hard time for
I'm giving-
our
look,
issues
what
with
I
the
am saying
interview
is-
because we have heard it.
You guys have heard it. That's fine. I'm not talking about. Here's what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is, in general, if you ask open-ended questions like, "What's your vision and how do you expect?"
That's not what they fucking did.
He could talk for 3 hours about that.
That's not what they fucking did.
actually.
But the point is,
So
but the point is,
honestly, I'm gonna get with Dirk over here, and we're gonna be fucking Dirk squared and be like, if you didn't listen to it, just like fucking Rain, shut the fuck up for a moment.
No, really. That's exactly what Matterall and TIS question did. They asked open-ended questions.
It wasn't open-ended because you know what? They weren't even there for most of the conversation.
and that's good. But that's good.
If they're not asking the hard questions, I'm not going to listen.
Drill down.
But
If
but
they're not
that's-
asking
that's-
hard
that's
questions,
what
I'm never
happened.
going to
You ain't
listen.
drilling down.
Sorry.
The problem that people had with it before
Take
was
care,
they
Ryan.
asked bullshit softball questions and they didn't have follow-ups to it, right? That was what
That's
the
the
concern
thing.
was this time. All right. This time
that's
they literally
absolutely it.
just sat there and said, "Hey," and all of a sudden Hilmer's like, "What the fuck? Let me tell you about this."
Yeah,
Like
you know.
literally, his brain exploded on the fucking screen, and that's what you've actually got to fucking like focus in on.
I mean,
And he
look, the
told
bottom,
you
regardless of, I don't know
He
what the fuck
told
they're
us
talking about.
exactly what the
But-
focus are going to be. He didn't tell us specific, but he told us exactly where he saw the problems and that he was going to start rolling out changes that solve these problems. And he even said something along the lines of, we can expect changes to hit us every week.
No,
Okay,
but that's
and why
bullshit.
are you
You
not
know that's
saying
Great.
what changes are we expecting next week? What changes are we expecting 2 weeks from now?
You
What
just
changes
said-
are we
but
expecting
here's
4
the
weeks
thing.
from now?
I mean,
Let's
but Dirk,
get
even
that
asking
info.
that question,
He's in the channel.
you know, if you
Yes,
ask that
Darwin.
question, if you ask that question, the chances are he's going to say, "Wait and see," or some shit.
Chances
like that.
are.
So I understand.
But people
No, it
slip
got
up.
yanked. We were not allowed to disclose that. He was yanked, and you just mentioned it, and it is coming. And the next thing that's coming is going to be one of the other topics, and the next, and the next. And I am expecting these to come out almost with the cadence he promised, almost weekly, because
People slip
many of them are
up.
so simple to code in there. Reducing the spawn rates of anomalies, removing the bounties in null, removing building slots in NPC stations, adding limitations to storage space in NPC stations. There's tons of things that are so easy to make now.
Here's the
technologically.
thing from Twitch chat. What about that comment about limiting M3 in stations? Was that a Falcon comment? No, that was a Hilmar comment. Hilmar suggested that when they originally designed stations, then when they expanded that to Citadels, what they wanted to do was restrict the amount of M3 that you could have, and they spent
It wasn't
a
that they
bunch of
wanted
time. It was part of their design document, and
It
they
wasn't
couldn't do
part
it
of their
because it was
design
a
document
database
because they wanted
issue.
to. It was part of a restriction at the fucking time, and it was also part of even maybe a fuck up at the time.
The reason they couldn't implement it was a database issue.
Sit
That's
there
what
and
he
try
said.
and don't sit there and try and conflate Falcons today voice.
I said it was
of
a Hilmar
fuck all
comment.
asset safety everywhere.
And I'm pretty sure
with
he
what
wasn't
happened
talking.
back
He was
in
not talking about
1992.
structures. He was talking about stations, and he was
was
talking
talking
about
about
way
state-
back in 2002.
he was talking
2003.
about-
Can I ask a question? Rain, are you ratting right now? You look like you're ratting.
No, I'm not writing. I'm not writing.
I
just want some hard questions, and everyone's just like kind of pussing around the hard questions.
I think
how
I
are we
think
pushing
the issue
around
is,
the hard questions?
I think the issue is how, what is a hard question?
So for example, so I'll use my real life.
Question was pretty.
I'll use my real life example, right? So my company, the company I work for, is going through a massive project, right? And this project is being reported up through CEO, like CEO chains, anyone with a chief in their title, audit committee, management board, etc. And so when I ask questions of like, okay, where does the project stand? Like me as a customer, if I go to the CEO or the audit committee or whomever and I say, where does XYZ project stand? What are the statuses? How do you expect to achieve that? And they can't answer it. I see that as like a very big red flag. So like when I go to So when I go to Hilmar and say, okay, well what are your visions of Eve? And he gives random examples, whatever they may be, whatever. And I say, okay, well, when do you expect to achieve that? And he can't give me dates or say when.
He's the CEO.
Or however. Yeah, that's fine. I can go to my CEO. I can go to my CEO and say, when do you expect to implement this new application system? He can't give me an answer? Like, that's a fucking issue, bro.
What his answer to you should be, when are you going to get it done?
I mean,
that's the answer. If you're the CEO, you say, I'm going to tell him to do it.
Exactly, right? And so that's why I expect Hilmar or my CEO or anyone of a company.
He said that. He answered these questions.
What was the date? What was the date of his changes?
That are going to
date?
Impact.
Date? Did he give a date?
Rain, you know full well why they're not going to give you dates, because you never give dates. Because you never.
Then I don't care. I don't care what the fuck their answers are. If they don't give those dates, I don't care. I don't care.
But you're asking for something that is horribly politically bad for them to do, and they've done it in the past. They've given us dates. They've missed deadlines. They lose credibility, and then the community says, "Well, you guys never met your fucking deadlines anyway, so why should we believe you when you say it?" So
I'm okay with them not saying when it happens. What I'm saying is that TIS never asked them in the first place. Like, if TIS asked them and the CCB
Dirk,
response
why would you ask a question that you know you're not going to
Oh my god, I fucking hate the fact you can't just call him Dirk, because people out in the fucking podcast will be like, why did Dirk ask a retarded fucking question?
Not drunk Dirk, sober Dirk.
Sober Dirk, other Dirk, whatever fucking Dirk you want.
Why would you ask them a question that you know they can't answer?
So that they answer it. So that you have something you can refer to. It's so that you have
They're going to say, I can't give you a specific date. And we know that. So why even ask the question?
Because then you have the bar to hold them to it. Like,
so I can hold them to I can't answer that.
Can we hold them to this bar?
They slip up.
I gotta ask that question.
They slip up.
If you want to hold to a bar,
okay.
Can we hold them to the bar of what came out of this? A fucking vision of EVE Online that was not the fuck ups that they did with anomalies in 2009, 10, or whatever the fuck it was. The absolute atrociousness that they have done in expanding that bullshit over the fucking years of letting every goddamn mega capital fucking ship participate in what their anomaly fucking factor was from back then. Can we actually allow them to roll that shit back, or are we just gonna fucking hold that against them?
There's no way you're gonna roll it back. You can't take away something.
You're telling me we can't roll this back, therefore we need to expand outwards.
No, we can roll
when they do it, they have to do it slowly and in little pieces.
Do they?
Why we can roll this shit back?
Because this is a concern from Carneros, who was on that fucking show.
Guys,
if you don't give me a fucking guys.
I'm going to give you a guys because you're asking a stupid question, Dirk.
I'm not asking a fucking stupid question.
You honestly seem to think. You honestly think that they can just say after years of letting people do this.
I'm asking,
you're gonna say, "Oh, just take it away."
Brisk, you and I are on the same fucking cadence, but like, I'm asking, how do you roll back years of poor fucking decisions that have built on one another, and like make it in a way that is equitable for the people that are here right now?
What you do is what they are doing now, which is small tweaks over time to get it back to where it's supposed to be.
Oh, bullshit.
So it doesn't feel like they're grabbing shit out of your hands.
So what, you want a fucking tax cut, you goddamn millionaire? It's
Brisk,
like, shut the fuck up.
Brisk,
that's how you do it.
You gotta roll a bitch back and make him eat a bunch of goddamn dirt and sit there and go, grow the fuck up.
Dirk, it's called incrementalism. That's how you do it without causing fucking riots.
Incrementalism is bullshit like fucking blackout.
You boil the frog slowly.
No,
won't jump out if it gets slow.
Eat a fucking
That's how you
dick
do it.
and
Brisk.
find out you're gay the
Let's
next day.
talk about the most recent VNI, right? Like, there's the change. There's your incrementalism. One ship, one patch in 3 months. That's your incrementalism.
Exactly.
That's the
and that's
point.
the fucking problem. That's why we can't
It's
boil
not the
that
problem.
frog.
It's
we
look,
can't
you guys
boil
are wanting
that
massive
frog
changes
when they're
overnight.
that fucking lazy.
That's your problem, Brisk.
There is no.
One
It's
patch,
not my problem.
One
I don't have a
ship
problem
in
with it.
3 months.
After how many months of balance changes that we got over, like in every fucking patch? Come on.
What do you mean?
Come on, Derek.
Come
Look,
on.
guys,
Come on. You
there's-
can't freaking
There
nerf
were balance
that shit
patches.
back.
Come on.
There were balance changes all over the place for like
You
the
can't
preceding
nerf
6
it back.
months.
Quit trying to be a bitch just trying to keep a little
Horrendous
more
has a
money for the
thing.
next goddamn
There's-
tax cut.
Horrendous has a
Horrendous.
thing.
Back
Let's
me
go
up on
horrendous.
this. How
There's-
many balance
there's two-
changes did we have over the last year? Come on.
Seven.
There was a
We've
ton.
had a few small balance changes, but here's the thing, okay? If you want to make the big changes, if you want to change the landscape in big ways, all right, there is a place for incrementalism, but incrementalism is not how you do it. Incrementalism is how you set it up. You put in a whole lot of steps that lead you toward basically the fucking Mongol invasion that wipes everything and burns Rome to the ground. That's how you do it.
Go
But
ahead.
you have
and
to do it in a
tiptoe.
way, but you have to set it up in a way that people don't feel like all their stuff is being taken away, but rather that they're getting this glorious fight that blows all this shit up as this some kind of desperate fucking action that they're actually engaged in. And the big problem that CCP is going to have in trying to do that is that for the most part, that means a PvE solution, and a lot of the PvPers don't care.
And
They're just
seriously,
not
seriously,
gonna
can I
give
just
you
say
that.
something?
You
Seriously.
tiptoe,
When you say a
but
PvE
at some
solution,
point
what do
you
you
gotta
mean by that?
stride.
Can I say
When you
something?
say a PvE solution, what do you mean by
You're
that?
both right. Some things need to be done incrementally, but some of it actually needs to be done like a band-aid. Just fucking rip it in one big go so everyone gets hit equally at the same time. Don't
Okay.
try to...
What was IHUB anomalies?
It-
Is that a
it's
But
change?
more
there,
close.
all right, Caleb, to that point, I'm not going to argue with you. I think you're probably right. But what I'm telling you right now, when it comes to shit that deeply makes emotional impacts on people like its generation and wealth generation, you got to do that slowly, because every time they have done it fast, we have seen massive backlashes in the community.
It's raw quals all over again, Brisk.
Correct.
You have to stride.
Correct.
But you have to make sure if you're gonna stride, you're gonna do it in a way that people understand. You don't stride with a raw qual to make PvP massively better.
I'm not
and
arguing
then go, hey, let's nerf back the raw qual 5 times in
But that's
18 months.
yes, but the
and
point
make
is
it
when
not
the
even
issue, when
worthwhile
everybody
after 5
is
times.
it is worthwhile still, but come on. The point is when they're looking at it and they're trying to figure out, all right, we made a mistake, we dialed the knob too far back. You can't just dial it back completely, because you're going to drive people crazy.
Oh,
There's
okay.
always going to be that guy.
It's-
There's always the guy. You always hear the guy
I
who
do
complains
wanna
about, I
say-
took for this long to finally scale into this ship that everybody's been using for months, and now it's here, and now it gets
Yeah,
nerfed. There's always somebody that says that.
actually, listening to what you've just said, I may have been a little bit too vague. I may have subjected myself to the syndrome that Olmeca subjected himself to. It's not that, make one major change to the raw qual and then make many different changes to bring it back into line. The issue isn't the many changes. The issue is that it was made significantly better, and then CCP made many changes that brought it kind of back into line, and still haven't really made it, but
Nobody
it back
gives
into
a
line.
shit about a single fucking ship.
It's not
fucked
about
up
the single
goddamn
ship,
they
it's
like
about
that
the
shit.
masses
They
of
fucked
ships.
up the ecosystem of
Okay.
EVE Online back
They-
when they put in all the fucking anomalies, period, back in the fucking day.
Dirk,
Like,
But-
all the
but-
ships
using
that
this as an
actually
example.
Do you
exacerbated
think-
it, like, totally
Dirk, do you
different
honestly
fucking story.
think they're going to flip a switch and turn off all the
Yes,
anomalies?
I believe
Yes.
that, I believe, hold on. Honestly, I don't
No,
know if
they're
they're
not.
going to, honestly, I hope that, because I like,
That's not gonna
I
happen.
hammered and nailed on this a few weeks ago, where I sat there and said, no answer is fucking hammer versus nail. It is
It's
a
not
much
gonna
more
happen.
methodical approach to these things. That's not how you fucking do it. And I honestly believe that is still the same fucking way. When people said today, delete the Rorqual, delete Supers, delete Titans, I sit there and go, no, it's not about fucking delete. It's about using a goddamn sensible approach to development that is fucking multi-level and trying to achieve what you want it to achieve, not just slam
everyone is saying delete Titans, delete Supers, delete Rorquals. Why not fucking delete anomalies? Why is
Dirk,
this
you're
not
coming,
an option?
you're coming at this.
Just delete
Listen,
shit.
You are bitching about
around
mistakes. You're bitching about mistakes that have been made in the past, and the issue is not are they going to do this again or whatever. I mean, the bottom line is you can't go back and change stuff that has been in the game for years, even no matter how fucked up it is. Because there are people that rely on the fact that
in an
you
end-around way
do it massively. That's what I'm saying. You could do it the right way. But the
fucking
right
way
is
get smarter developers.
The right way is
how about we
little
go ahead
bits
and talk about the
over
balance
time until we get there. But look, you guys are going to complain about, all right, there are no big steps. What
no,
the hell
no,
do you think
really,
the blackout is? The blackout is a huge...
The blackout is bullshit. It's a gimmick.
It may be a gimmick, but it's a huge gimmick that nobody thought they would ever go back and do. We've been saying stuff like Intel is too good as an Intel, local's too good as an Intel tool. We got to do something about nerfing local. We got to do something about this, and we always talked about it. It was always one of those things. It was a pie in the sky thing. We all talked about it. So wouldn't it be great if? And we never thought they would do anything about it. And not only did they do something about it, they dumped it on us without telling anybody and giving anybody a heads up.
Brisk, they removed local. And they did it without telling anybody, and that was bold. Absolutely, that was a big stride.
That's what you guys are asking for.
Realistically, let's talk about the balance team that we've been asking for ages. People dedicated to actually making these iterative changes.
Dirk, they did. They have. Listen, stop. I didn't say they did. What I'm saying is,
you absolutely said they did. Verbatim,
I was not finished with what I was saying. They did a large number of balance changes to a bunch of different ships in a row in like 6 or 7 months. People have been asking for a balance team forever. There's no balance team. It's like 2 guys.
Exactly. The balance team doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. We keep asking for it. We're not going to get that. That's not the point.
So we're not going to get that, but we should get no local.
We're gonna.
We shouldn't get iterative change, but we should get big strides.
We get iterative change.
And you're talking about iterative change.
Come on, Dirk. We've been getting iterative change. They have not been doing this thing where they take something and they put it out there and then they do nothing to it for 2 years or 3 years at a time. They've not been doing that. If you've looked and seen, we have seen little tweaks over time in the last year or 2 years that they have not been doing before. I mean, I said this on TIS the other day. I'm like, all right, everybody says, well, they're just going to put this in the game and then they're not going to touch it for 3 years. So I don't know if I want to tell them to do that. And I asked, when was the last time they did that? Because they have demonstrated that they're willing to be iterative. They're demonstrating they're willing to put something in and try it out just to see if it works or not.
But this does not fix the ecosystem. The ecosystem needs to be band-aids. They need to nerf the fucking anomalies
change the
entirely.
Ecosystem overnight.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Because you already have tools out there. You have stockpiles.
Caleb,
for
I'm not
3
saying.
years.
All right, look. When I say you can't do it, when I'm saying you can't do it, I'm not saying that it's physically impossible to do it. Yes, they can turn off anything they want. It's a bad idea. Look, I've said this before. It's the whole idea of, and I'm using a legal term, we call it promissory estoppel. You cannot promise somebody that something is going to exist and let those people rely on the fact that that thing is in existence to their detriment and then take it away.
Here's the
thing.
Just
do that.
If
they
want
to change, the change. It needs to be slow over time.
Seriously,
or you're going to get people to unsub.
I have a question for Brisk.
Hold on, there's a big difference between somebody unsubbing and like there's a legal theory behind it.
Please, Dirk, for the love of God, let me ask Brisk about this question. Here's the question to you, Brisk. Since the introduction of Aegisov, since the introduction of Fozisov, how many iterative changes have we had to the Fozisov mechanic?
Half?
3?
We've had a couple. We've
had 2 iterative changes to the Fozisov mechanic.
And we've had changes
4 years. It was a 2015 change that we've had 2 iterative changes on.
I'm not arguing with you that there are certain things that they have dumped in the game and then not made any changes to.
Yeah,
but the point is there are other things that they have put in the game that they've tweaked and gone back and said, all right, this didn't work, so we're going to roll it back. Or
they
we're
are
gonna
specifically looking at the shit that is low effort. That's why we don't have a balanced team, because balance requires consistent effort.
It's not
and
just
it's not sexy. You
balance
don't want to be
money.
on that team as a game.
And every
dev,
time
you want
someone
to be doing
mentions
the
the
thing that you
macroeconomic
impress.
problem,
the
everyone
problem
starts
with balance-
talking about microeconomics. This is not your fucking household economics or ecosystem. This is not potty plants, right? This is an actual simulation. The one thing that is broken is anomalies. Everyone is talking about titans, supers, capitals, all this
Caleb,
bullshit.
they
The
have
only
nerfed
reason
anomalies
but they need to
multiple
be nerfed
times over
Not
the
majorly.
last year.
fuck's sake.
They have nerfed
It's
it.
not
They've
the
nerfed the
Rorqual that's the
timing.
problem.
They
It's the
have
anomaly.
reduced.
You
They have
can fit
reduced the
10
spawn
fucking
rate.
ships
They have
in there.
changed.
Come on,
They have
stop,
Caleb.
stop,
come on. They have nerfed anomalies a bunch
Stop
of
with those
times.
intermittent fucking level of details with any of this kind of shit. Because number one, once they throw a bunch of shit against the fucking firewall, don't tell me that they're like not gonna fucking just nerf it back incrementally. And oh my god, they nerfed it back incrementally. Guess
That's
what?
Rorqual.
Some of that shit sometimes like gets nerfed back incrementally and then goes negative from there.
But you know,
Okay?
let's
Like,
talk about
quit pretending
SKUs
that
again.
EVE Online has not fucking experienced this shit over the years. Okay,
They
you can call
have
it you can
been-
call it a bait and switch mentality all you want to, or you can call it wait on. This is what I fucking love. You can call it chaos. You can call it make it more dangerous. You can call it like whatever fucking flippant
Cruel but
word that
fair.
you want to. The fact of the matter is that this is what EVE Online has gone through for fucking generations in the EVE Online fucking sense.
Look, and
That being said,
I have said, I mean, look, and comments are in the chat. The problem is there's nothing to drive conflict. I agree 1,000%. When it comes to anomalies, I asked Larrikin in the first summit. I said,
why are you asking Larrikin? Why don't you ask
him,
somebody with a little more fucking power?
I asked
How
the
about
guys
that?
that were sitting in the room, and it was Larrikin and Falcon and Fozzie was there and a bunch of different people. I asked them, do you think that the current amount of ISK being generated in the game is sustainable? He said no. Okay, they have nerfed anomalies multiple times over the last year. They have changed the way that fighters work. They've changed the way that the rest
in any meaningful way. They're still
all
infinitely
designed to
respawnable.
reduce the
You can
the
still
velocity
suck
of
that
this
shit
entering
forever.
that economy.
For
And
fuck's
now
sake, it doesn't work like that. You can't incrementally fix something that's infinitely
can.
respawnable.
No, you can't.
It needs to be
Absolutely can.
depletable, for fuck's sake.
Well,
You
hold on,
absolutely can.
Yes,
you change
you
the
but not
the
at
ships.
the rate that they did it.
You
Okay?
balance
not
the
at
ships.
the rate that they did it.
You balance the ships. You balance the fact.
No,
look,
it's not the
fact,
ships that are the problem, because then you can just scale laterally infinitely.
They have
It's not the
changed
ship.
they've changed the respawn rates on anomalies in systems. Sanctums don't spawn as fast. Havens don't spawn as fast. You can't do the shit that you used to be able to do. The amount of systems that you have to spread out in order to get the same routing levels that you did before is a lot more than it was.
You know what? Here's a question
By
about
the way,
Icon.
I do want to throw this out as a public service announcement for people who have no motherfucking idea what the hell we're goddamn talking about.
Well, that's because we're all in the weeds, because Caleb's here and he's an in the weeds guy.
No,
That's it.
you know what? This is one of the few moments where I'm not going to allow this to get blamed on fucking Caleb being a weed motherfucker. I'm going to blame this on some of you motherfuckers who don't listen and read shit. Okay? So you know what, Brisk? If you didn't listen to this, shut the fuck up for 5 fucking minutes.
We're not talking about the Hilmar interview anymore. We're talking about game development.
We're way off.
Is the
We're
issue
way
and how
off
it
in
should
the
be
fucking
done.
weeds. We're way off in the weeds because of the Hilmar interview.
No, we're not.
No,
yes,
We're in
we
because
are.
we started talking
Yes,
about
we
this
are.
shit.
We're way off in the
sat
fucking
here.
weeds because he was talking about the fact that they literally fucked up on the idea of anomalies and things like that way back in the fucking day. They
And I
didn't
think
have a fucking
and
idea.
what I
just
said
like
was,
they didn't have a fucking
you
idea
guys
of
wanna
Titans
sit
and
here
shit like that.
And
Now
what I
you're
said
calling
was,
me
you
a
guys
weed
want to
guy
sit
and all
here
that shit, but
and
can I just
cry over
quote-
fucking
can I just-
spilt milk and
I'm
try to
gonna
turn the
quote the
time
other-
back to like 1987 when the
I am
game didn't
going
exist
to-
and none
Dude,
of
I'm
the
not
problems
gonna
happened.
fucking lie.
Come on.
1987 was
I'm going to
legit
quote
fucking
the
fucking
other
good year.
Dirk and say, any mechanics that you are not optimally fucking utilizing, you're an idiot. And that's
Yeah.
exactly the problem with anomalies. The fact that
that's how it
goons and all
works.
the nullsec entities are sucking these tits is because they are there. That is the whole problem. And you can talk about incremental changes. It's not going to change jack shit because goons will always figure a way to abuse that system because they are fucking smart and they know how to do it.
It's never been about goons.
It's not about goons. It's not about whatever fucking monster you see out there in your fucking closet.
He's not making it about us. He's using us as an example.
I know he is. I know he is. But other people will hear that and say, you know what, this needs to be the fucking monster in my closet.
Here's the thing.
I get that.
Let's talk about PanFam. PanFam have finally recognized that, hey, they need to change their rental structure, and they need to actually... No. Oh, you're still on Ishtars. I thought you were on VNIs. Let's talk about your Ishtars versus VNIs. But point is, you know, people are taking a look at the Imperium and going, hey, the Imperium has done this well. We are successful. That's true. We can now afford to reimburse fucking ratting Myrmidons.
Sorry, team.
Because nobody can
I was
stop
talking
us
shit.
right
I'm sorry.
I was not blaming you, as Arenda said. I said that goons always figure out how to do shit right as the first group, right?
Exactly.
That's my point. And that's why if you have an infinite resource available, they will figure out how to optimally utilize that. And everyone will follow suit, and
everybody
break
does
the
that.
ecosystem.
Yeah, and the bottom line is, that's why once something is entered in the game, it takes about 5 minutes for everybody to figure out how to do it, and we all copy.
A differential situation.
Okay.
PanFam haven't been figuring out how to do that until a month ago.
Some people are slow, right?
First of all, you can suck my PL dick, okay, Mr.
But
whoever the fuck you fly with.
Brisk.
Telling somebody to suck a fucking dick needs to like chill for just a second.
You can suck my dick too, Mr. Initiative.
You can't really just kind of dial back anomalies, because when you do, it's not going to have a meaningful impact. We'll just scale laterally again.
But I mean, that's the problem with anything in the game. Any way of generating risk in the game, how do you not plus one?
They have just introduced a system that is actually assailable, that is not potentially infinite. It's called moon mining. If they balance it towards moon mining instead...
really? Moon mining is not infinitely scalable.
No, it's not.
Well, it's not
really.
Infinitely scalable.
It's not.
It takes moons to do that.
How often does a moon get fracked every month? The more often it gets fracked,
it's once a month. No, it's once a month. Like, trust me, I know this. I did some 3D math.
Right. Still,
they should get fracked once a month. You can suck my dick, Mr. Dirk 2.0.
It's not infinitely scalable. It's a
you
finite
scale
number.
as many rorks as you can until you clear the thing. It's
then
it's
clear, Mark. So you can't repeat it for another month.
And you can't repeat that moon for
so
a month.
you go to the next system.
It's not even a month. It's 2 months.
Is there anywhere in the game where every moon is being mined 100% every single time?
Yes, it's called Delve.
Yes.
Really? Even now?
Yes.
Every active
Are you sure? Because it didn't look like it on the last MER.
No, seriously. When we're not at war, and I will admit that I have just changed that statement a little bit, when we're not at war, every moon that is actively having a frack in Delve is being mined.
And can I just say that I mentioned this on the interview, and Brisk, I know you haven't listened to it, but this is one of the things that CCP has missed. The moon drilling is the most brilliant design that's ever been done when it comes to node respawning.
Bullshit.
It is. No one's done it. No other game developer has figured this out.
It is in a fucking simulation of make the players do all these things. It's not in a fucking simulation that also wants to be a game.
The point is not that. The point is that in every other game you get this extreme creep over time because no one has figured out how to make the spawn of nodes player-driven and naturally depletable.
Yeah,
this system does exactly that, and it's assailable. You can actually disrupt someone else's work.
The thing that does make it good is the fact that, hey, a belt in any system in space, an ore belt, is refreshed at downtime. That's high sec, low sec, that's null sec, whatever.
No.
A moon belt.
An asteroid belt.
An asteroid belt. Absolutely. A standardized asteroid belt in high sec, low sec, null sec. That is refreshed
Not
at
an anomaly.
downtime.
No,
I'm not. Look,
Not an anomaly.
if you're gonna make
not
the
a static
argument,
belt either.
if you're gonna
Yes,
make
a
the
static
argument
belt.
that
Static belts don't refresh at the same time.
Yes, they-
yes, they do refresh, but they may
downtime.
refresh at a
Every
different
day at
fucking
downtime.
rate at downtime.
No, a static belt, belt 4, Moon 4 refreshes at
All right,
downtime.
friends, I'm gonna play some
The same
Overwatch,
amount,
so...
high sec, null
The
sec,
same
low
amount
sec?
every
Yes,
single...
100%
yeah.
all the time.
okay, you guys are talking about mining. Fuck mining. I hate mining. I don't want to talk about mining anymore.
We're talking about the mechanics.
We're talking
Brisk,
about.
I
I'm
did
talking
some
about
Oracle
users,
mining,
because
so
I
you
think
the whole
can
thing
suck
sucks.
my
This
dick.
game is an
Oracle
ecosystem. We're
mining
talking
to
about
a
the
certain
prime
period.
producers.
I'm
That's
not
where your shit
arguing
comes
that the
from,
game's
Brisk.
on an ecosystem. I think
Yeah.
the point is that if you're gonna fix shit, the mining changes were a big deal, but it was only because they changed it from passive to active.
No.
That was the biggest
Why
part.
don't you suck my dick
that
with
wasn't
my
the
Roracle,
problem.
That
Mr.
wasn't
Brisk
the biggest
Ribble?
change. The biggest part of the change in that was that moon mining, moon goo, as a component of the ships that people use to shoot each other, became active. You can't have
That's what I
Moonings
said.
without
And
moon
The
goo.
biggest
And
thing was
and
that
did
it went from
moons
passive to
include
active.
ore?
No, the active was a function for sure, but suddenly you have many people engaged in the production chain for a Munin, compared to one person logging in every couple of days.
That's
Many
what I mean.
people
And what
on
I'm
a
saying-
Munin.
Passive.
What I
to
was trying to
active.
say is that they have this design that is unique in the industry, right? And if they turn the dial up on that when it comes to actual resource replenishment, right, you will actually be able to take anomalies out without it really hurting anyone if you then boost the same amount onto the potential of moon fracking. Because then
Okay.
you still have something that's assailable, depletable, and something that you can stop. That means that it's not infinite anymore.
It's still infinite. It's just over time.
There's a huge difference between the two designs. You cannot argue that moon fracking is anyway similar to any other
Okay.
respawn in the
Okay,
game
how-
or in
how do
any
you- how
other
do you-
game.
How do you turn the Moon Goose system into ratting?
That's about making a new structure that can control, call it anomaly spawns. I don't fucking know. I don't care. My point
Actually,
is
I don't even-
the
I just
design.
don't
think
The
you can.
design
I don't even
is
understand your
something
fucking
that you
I don't
can
think you
say.
can do it.
Was your question designed to be like a fucking gotcha type thing? Because
It's a good question. I'll have to
how do
think
you
about
turn
that.
a fucking moon goose structure into ratting?
I
No,
just,
how do-
I-
how do you-
look,
how do you
the whole
port-
thing is
how do you
you're
port
talking
the-
about
the-
you're
the
talking
finite-
my whole that we were talking about taking out all the anomalies. When I think of anomalies,
Take the
I'm talking about
fucking
mining, I'm talking
anomalies
about
out.
ratting.
Go back pre
To
what
what?
was it?
To
Fucking
what, the
Tyrannus?
belts?
Pre
The belt
Tyrannus.
rats?
Yes. You know what?
Okay.
Honestly, they actually had shit in balance back then.
Did they really?
Yes.
They really fucking did have it in balance back then.
And remember, most of the things that we're talking about when we talk about supers and capitals and titans, all of these things were designed before anomalies. That
I
means
know,
that
it
everything,
sucks. It
everything
sucks for
was
all you
balanced
fucking miners
to a
and ratters.
totally
I know
different
that. I
fucking
get it.
Guys,
ecology.
just look at the chat going crazy with
I
you
know,
even talking
of
about
course,
getting rid
because
of ratting
the
anomalies.
chat is a bunch of fucking summer children who
Those
grew
are
up,
those
who
are the
grew up
people that
sucking
keep
on
the
a
servers
fucking
running,
tit.
Dirk. You can
Hold
shit on them all you
hold
want, but they're the
Are we
guys
ta-
that pay the subs to
are
keep
we
the game
talking
fucking
about-
going.
Honestly, right now, are we talking
We're
about
all
the
guys
game or
who
are we
pay
talking about the
subs.
fucking company? Which one are we
Like-
talking about? Because I'm willing to talk about both. I'm willing to even talk about what the middle ground might be. But if you want to talk about the fundamentals of the game, then shut the fuck up about what the company gets up its ass. Okay, please.
Dirk, do you think that people play the game that them playing the game has no
Play
impact
the
on whether
game
the company
that's
is
enjoyable.
successful?
Okay, just
And
for a
if what
second,
they
I'm gonna
build
be
is a
I'm
game
gonna be
that's not
slightly
enjoyable and
controversial,
interesting.
Chris, because you have no clue. Back in the day when this shit was balanced, when it actually worked according to the intention and the vision, right? The game was in constant fucking growth. When all of these things got introduced, the game got entirely stale. Everything after the fucking Summer of Rage have been patchwork design bullshit with no macroeconomic thinking at all. When
Okay,
Hilma
but Caleb,
went
do you
on
honestly think
hiatus,
if we
I'm
roll
saying-
the Caleb, are you honestly going to argue that if we roll the game back to 2013,
Yes.
that the lumbers are all going to pop up to where
Yes.
they were before?
Yes,
No, I mean,
potentially.
Caleb might be
they will
saying that, but
fucking
it won't
crash
happen.
first.
Caleb might be saying that, but it won't happen. But what Caleb is saying is that the game is now horrendously predictable. And CCP changing it, CCP don't understand what the fuck they're changing to begin with. We all know that in the winter, things happen, and that's when we get wars, because people like to go outside when the weather is good. What a shock.
The tragedy is that they used to have a distribution system where, let's just look at minerals for a second, right? The distribution and the rarity of the minerals was balanced and designed to have a certain appearance in the game, right? And this was reflected pretty much in the price. That happened, was visible all the way up till 2010. What you have got now is ridiculous. You have a price that's only set by things like bulkness and how fast you can cycle anomalies. That's the only thing that decides price now. There's no rarity at all. It's only bulkness. Did I lose everyone in that? Because
I just don't understand I don't understand why you think that's a bad thing. What's the issue?
The issue is there's no rarity anymore. That means that you can't everything that's priced on a BPO is
It's not gonna happen here, Caleb. It's not gonna fucking happen here. It's not gonna fucking happen here because we've got people who just want to sit there and say, you know what, players out there, you deserve all the things. All the things should come to you. In some way, all the things should be yours. Because you know what? You're a you, and all the things should be for you.
But Dirk, the point is that you don't want to.
For some reason, in this concept, in this alternate fucking reality, is on that side. In the other alternate reality, which is like a reality.
What I am saying is,
he's a different motherfucker.
I'm not. I am the same motherfucker I've always been.
You're a bullshitter in this sense.
I'm simply saying is that you guys, I think Caleb is falling into a nostalgia fallacy that if you roll things back to 2013 and suddenly everybody's going to love the game again and everybody's going to start playing it again like it didn't, like nothing changed, and that all the changes since then have been bad, but that we had the game perfect in 2013 and then we fucked it up.
Caleb's not saying that everything that has happened since 2013 is bad, and I have anecdotal, I will admit, but I have actually spent the past few years looking at what we talk about at INN. And here's the thing, the media doesn't talk about a random Titan dying anymore. We don't give a shit. It's nothing in the current state of EVE because Titans aren't valuable anymore.
But Dirk, that's inevitable.
These end game things aren't valuable.
I think I can answer your question.
And the CCP doesn't get that.
But Dirk, yes, they do. I mean, look,
no, they
come
don't.
on, guys. What took?
Brisk,
look at let me point this out. Real life shit here for a second, okay? Look what it took in the 1940s for America to design a nuclear weapon. You had to have the smartest people.
You should
on
not
the
use real
listen,
life.
You had the smartest people on the fucking planet come together to figure all this shit out with the biggest economy and all the money that they could use, and it took them that long to figure it out. Now, you got podunk countries like North Korea that are able to pull this out. Over time, the stuff that takes geniuses, to do,
explain how a Titan can make money. How can an aircraft carrier make money in real life?
After time, the longer that you go on, and especially when these things are not getting blown up all the time.
Yeah, no, that's my point.
The longer it goes on, everybody's going to have them.
That's
and
my
aspirational
point,
goals for people to get.
Nobody's considering the long term.
You want
issue.
aspirational goals in the game, but you also want aspirational goals that are achievable, that people feel like they're not just logging in and feeding the fucking gerbil and they're not making any progress. You don't want clickbait games like Lineage 2 or shit, where it's going to take you 1,000 years to level up.
Everyone wants the clickbait games, but Horrendous has a thing
You're making a lot of statements that don't actually make sense, because you think that the only thing to aspire for is something that's PvP killer based. I'm saying everyone that fucking left are
now you sound like Mario.
No, everyone that left are the RP people. It's all the industrialists that got pretty much unemployed because you could laterally scale everything. It's all the miners because it's true.
All those people have
PvP
markets
people, now. All of the PvP people that are still active are asking why the fuck CCP aren't encouraging PvP. it's a large part of the issue about why CCP aren't encouraging tournaments at the moment.
But this is because
tournaments were PvP.
But
Horrendous has the
you
thing.
don't have the industrialists anymore. You don't have that type of player that's dedicated. You have feralized cows like Killer B that's pretty much sitting there, numbing himself into Titans after Titans, month after month, and he can lose 1 or 2 each month. This is ugly. This is crazy.
Horrendous does have a thing that he wants to say. I want to actually.
Why is that bad?
I don't know where Dirk went. He decided that actually us going over time was a bad idea, but Horrendous has a thing he wants to say.
But
let's let Horrendous talk.
Caleb,
He's been trying for a while.
Why is that bad? Because it's not what we used to do. Why is it bad? Why can't people lose Titan after Titan and get more and come back?
Do you just want to play?
Because they're a bunch of fucking bitches in Eve.
Because that's not what we're playing. We're playing a simulator where you're supposed to be able to go to war. If everyone's got the biggest tools, who the fuck cares?
You go to war with the biggest tools. Why is this any different than the 2013 Battleship
Leave
war?
Britney
What's the difference?
alone.
Just take a breath. Horrendous has stuff to talk about. Everyone take a breath.
Do you want an answer to your question?
Yes.
Which question? He's asked
How
about
do
4
you
in the
make
last 5
ratting
minutes.
like mining? How do you port moon mining over to ratting? And the answer is logistics. Tables of organization and equipment. Make the rats finite. How many Blood Raider ships are there? Well, how many can they make in a month? That's how many you can blow up in a month.
And I'm not arguing with you because I've always said it sounds to me like it's stupid the fact that the Blood Raiders keep making fucking ships that we're going to go blow up
that's
over
how
and
you
over
do
again.
it. That's how you do it.
But Horrendous. But seriously.
Infrastructure.
Okay.
You make their infrastructure destructible.
I understand that. I understand that from a lore perspective. I understand that from a general perspective. But what do you tell a player who wants to log in and make some ISK that he has to wait, and that the crazy guy who's online 23 hours a day with 5 supers at the same time is going to kill all the rats for that month in that system, and he's got to go somewhere else?
You tell them that you care about their NP and you actually focus on that instead of just ignoring the career agents.
If you reduce this stuff and you limit it, but you've still got a same group of people in the same area that are still going to be doing it.
Then they have to spread out more.
And then what happens? Then what happens is guys
we have
like
less
us,
of a super cap umbrella.
Guys like us. What it means is that we take over everything.
No,
really? We have space for our guys and all the other guys.
Because I remember a time last, not too long ago. It was like 2016 maybe. Okay, we're like taking over all the fucking things left you overexposed to other things happening.
And it's
not going to now.
It's not going to.
We've got too many
It's not going to now. Okay, well, you know what? Maybe
would.
CCP needs to sit there and go, let's roll back those changes that we began in 2014. Okay.
No. Here's the logical process.
It still would leave us overextended because if you're covering all that space, then your super capital umbrella is spread out. Your super capital umbrella can still only cover the same amount of space before it starts thinning, and when it starts thinning, that's when you start losing them.
Here's the basic logical argument, right?
If it's difficult to replenish them, they will start actually being lost at an amount that's higher than fucking rebuilding them. This is the problem. And nothing has been changed when it comes to composition of BPOs since these things were introduced, regardless of the inflation and the asset creep. This is the main problem. If you look at the math, right, on something as simple as the ISK faucet, it keeps coming in at a rate of about, I think it's 2% per month, give or take. That means it's going to double quite a lot over time, and it's at a point where everything that's ISK priced from NPCs should be 10 times its current price.
But it's not. Inflation is not an issue.
Right.
Caleb,
inflation isn't an issue. Yes, inflation is an issue.
Things like inflation and shit like that. Let's not do that right now.
Here's my super capital umbrella numbers, right? Take 1,000 super capitals. That's Goon's super capital umbrella. At present jump ranges, Goons can take that 1,000 super capitals and extend it over Delve and a little bit of Quarius.
How'd that happen? How did that happen? Hold on.
But Dirk, you say that.
How did that happen though? Like, and honestly, I don't mean to be a fucking anti-goon dick motherfucker or anything like that. How did it fundamentally happen in the escalation of EVE Online? It wasn't because some motherfucker dreamt up one day, let's make more Titans than the other guy.
No, the answer is Rorquals. The answer is that CCP changed the mechanics. But
hold on. It wasn't
their solution
it
to power
wasn't even
distribution.
fucking Rorquals.
Yes, it was.
But
it was
solution...
not Rorquals. Rorquals were an exacerbation of an issue that took place fucking years later.
The point
when they
is,
actually put out there the only thing that was legitimately the same thing across all of nullsec was mining anomalies.
The point is that their solution to the power projection was a stupid microeconomic bullshit patch. If they had actually added real fuel, jump fatigue is a horrible fucking bullshit mechanic. If they had added an actual fuel demand instead, and a fuel demand that was based on diminishing returns, so it becomes more and more expensive the fucking further you want to jump in one jump, that would have forced those Titans, supers, to actually spread out to cover the same area, which would mean you couldn't blob the way that you do now.
And
all right, let me ask. I want to ask Sober Dirk a question.
Can I just actually emphasize what I was trying to say?
Don't call him Sober Dirk.
I want to talk to Sober.
At this point, let's call him Angry Dirk.
Can I actually emphasize what I was trying to say at that point, which was that, hey, 1,000 super capitals in Delve, we can currently cover most of Delve and some of Quarius. If we expand the fact that that same 1,000 super capitals can cover Delve and Quarius and Period Basis and Fountain, and we have to have jump fatigue as it exists. Hey, we can jump to the other end of Fountain, but we can't jump from Fountain to Period Basis to save. It's exactly why the PanFam current super umbrella of 200 systems doesn't work. It's because
Sober Dirk, let me ask you a question.
No, can I just expand on this? Can I just explain something to you, Brice? Because it's important that you understand.
I don't want you to don't you fucking explain anything. I don't want to hear this. Don't you fucking tell me I don't understand something.
Caleb,
do not. I will get so goddamn triggered.
It's not even fucking funny. Caleb, I asked for you to be able to talk before. Apparently, he wants Sober Dirk to talk.
I want to ask Sober Dirk a question. He said that inflation is a problem. So I want to ask him.
Inflation is a problem.
Dirk, how much does a fitted Titan cost in Delve right now?
How much? Wow, okay.
It's more than that, but
you can't even buy a hull for 30 bill in fairness.
But ask me the question. How much?
It's 75 billion-ish, roughly.
How much was it a year ago?
How much roughly in Delve was it a year ago? About 85 to 90 billion.
So how can you tell me that inflation is an issue when the most expensive shit in the game is cheaper now a year later than it was before?
Because how inflation happens in EVE Online, dumbass motherfuckers.
No, don't even say that. You can't tell me inflation is a problem when shit's getting cheaper.
Because that's not how inflation happens.
That's not how inflation works.
Ignorant bitches.
I have an answer. It is because Plex is increasing in cost. And Hilmar actually addressed this in the fucking interview. He equated Plex to a gold standard. The value that it takes to buy a unit of Plex is going up. And therefore, the economy is inflating.
And you can't argue this because
it's basic economics.
The inflation
it's a devaluation of your
and
currency,
the other is the
bitches,
resources.
and you don't even see it.
Okay, so in every other place in the world, when inflation goes up, things cost more. But in EVE, when inflation goes up, things cost less. Is that honestly what you guys are trying to argue?
No.
Yes, I have drunk about half of this, so maybe I'm not completely sober.
Honestly, Brisk, I've given you a pass. I've given you a pass over the time that you literally joined the show until now about how you don't actually drink as much as the rest of us. And I don't know what these other people off camera are actually fucking drinking, but I'm gonna say they're maybe on the same level as you, except other better Dirk. Okay, because honestly,
sober
he's
Dirk.
Been up this late. And he's not fucking sober. He's legit. He's legit caved in, but better than me, fucking Dirk. Okay. Arendis, I know, has been drinking all fucking afternoon. I've seen on screen all fucking night. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to fucking measure this. So don't measure other people's drunkenness by what you apparently see or hear.
Oh, don't even start. It's a joke. You drunk fuck.
No. Fuck that shit. I just don't want you to call people out.
Here's how that's inflationary, okay? The currency in question isn't ISK. ISK is just one of the things fluctuating here. When you price Titans in terms of Plex, because that's the immutable currency. That's the currency that is the standard. That's what you're looking at for your dollar in this figure.
And also, resources get sunk out slower than ISK. So it's quite important to realize this fact, that the speed of which you get stockpiles of resources to actually build things are coming in at a pace that is unseen. It is ridiculous.
But that's the point that I was trying to make. Look, that's the point that I was trying to make.
That's not the point you're trying to make.
But that was the point I was trying to make. The reason why it is cheaper.
That's the argument you're trying to make. It's not the point you're trying to make, because
the argument I'm trying to make
every downtime we have more resources in the game.
The reason why it costs less is obviously because we're mining more. So obviously, when supply is up, demand is up. Okay.
Is it?
No.
That was never supply and demand was never a thing for the Imperium.
We are in fairness, we are
is,
consistently supplying more every downtime. That's a thing.
Correct.
Literally, all the dicks that you can pile into the bag of fucking dicks.
The gold standard is still Plex. That's still the thing that we consider.
Guys, you are saying exactly what I was saying a month ago when I was bitching about the price of Plex being too high and that they needed to do something to fix it.
It's never too high.
Here we have Brisk admitting that we are arguing for the same thing when we say that the economy is inflated.
Look, guys, guess what? This is a show, and we're arguing for the
low.
sake of arguing because that's what we do on the show.
No, that's not what we do. We always come here for the truth.
Yes, it is.
We come here for the fucking truth.
That's bullshit.
And that's why I bring Arendis in here.
Take your truth in this and pour it in a cab and go home.
Apparently, Arendis brings Dirk Statiel in here to speak on his behalf.
No.
Dirk was always here for Arendis.
Sober Dirk is here because we wanted him to come on and make fun of Omega. That's why.
I will not allow Dirk Statiel to continue to speak on Arendis' behalf.
I am completely responsible for Arendis and Caleb and for Sober Dirk.
You're not really completely responsible.
Dude, you can
I was going to come in to annoy Dirk anyways.
Okay, fine. All right.
And to try to trigger Rain over the whole banning.
I know.
That happened.
That's the thing. I'm tired. You know what? We have not gotten.
You know what? Dirk can suck my dick for being a fucking Nazi. Like, get over it.
By the way, now, okay. If we're gonna move into that, we gotta move over into Rain's channel.
I'm not going into my channel. I'm fucking streaming Overwatch and other shit.
That's all really fucking
Rain's
cool
playing
too.
other games. She's
like you can suck my dick, Mr. I have the fucking White Knight talking in stations.
Hardcore about how I fucking boosted her from like a fucking channel tonight, but whatever.
I'm extremely upset about the fact that Rain has not gone crazy tonight.
No, because you know what? The two of us have held back.
Rain was good.
We're human beings.
Really good tonight.
We're human beings who love each other. Love you, Rain.
Love you too, you fucking loser.
I'm so proud of Rain tonight.
Dusk and Brisket have held back and just let Arendis, Caleb, and me just argue about whatever we want. Really, that's what happened here.
We're used to that.
All that being said, I love the fact that this family doesn't
I don't know that I could really say Dirk held back when like he was shouting you down for a good half the show.
I would also say, keep in mind, remember, Rain is the #1 most loved host on Open Comms.
Yeah, you can suck my dick, you fucking losers.
Look, you guys all fucking polled last week. We threw it out there to you motherfuckers. And like, you know what, that's what it came up as. So like, we gave her the fucking reins this week. Not just because Drayden's away. Not just because Drayden's away. We gave it to her because of last week's poll. Y'all did what you did.
Rain #1.
Hold on. Here's the thing.
Come to me.
Drayden is going to fucking Colorado and Utah. I don't know if he's gonna come back. I don't care if he comes back because you know what? We got Rain now.
Nah, I've got a point.
She's a vote winner and she can like pull off the intro.
I was got
impressed.
A point. like, the point is that Arendis and I had to ask Brisk how we got on this channel, and we're an hour over time, and the only change is that Arendis...
No, I already had the TeamSpeak info.
Oh,
Arendis is on the show all the time, Derek.
I'll claim
You're
it.
the new one.
I know Arendis.
I'm the reason
Sober
you're an hour
Derek
over
is on
time.
for...
That's me.
Have you been
Stop
on before?
calling him fucking Sober Dirk. He's in
No,
England at like.
I am
at
totally
like
calling
5
him
o'clock
Sober
in the
Dirk
morning.
because it triggers the fuck out of you. That's why I'm calling him Sober Dirk.
Exactly. He's over there at like 4 o'clock in the fucking morning. What do you think? He's like sober awake right now? No, he's not.
Totally sober.
He's like stoked up on whatever.
Listen
cheap
to
ass
him.
Oh
beer
my
he's
god,
drinking.
I just had some fucking epic plays right here. Oh
He's
my
not
god.
slurring.
You can all
are
suck
you
my
playing
dick.
as,
I'm
Rain?
playing Mercy.
Am I getting all wet mouth,
I'm
by the
playing
way?
Mercy. I'm the only fucking healer in this party at Tyrion
Of course you
Hecky.
are. Of course you're a healer.
Oh, I got
Way to be
fucking
a
ganked.
stereotype. Way to be a stereotype, Rain.
I'm really
The girl
fucking good
plays
at
the
this
healer.
game
Cast
though.
the
Way to be a
fucking
stereotype.
At Tyrion, where you at, boy? He died with
Whoa,
me. Yo,
whoa,
he
Brisk,
said
why you
epic
gotta make that
plays.
stereotypical, man.
He said epic
Because
plays
she's being
though.
stereotypical.
Only
No,
healer,
no,
please.
No,
I'll
no,
fuck
no.
you,
She can play
Tyrion.
whatever she wants. That's the whole point.
Okay, all right. So the girl's the healer. That's not a stereotype. Okay.
She can play
Holy
whatever she
shit,
wants
Jillian.
as long as it's
Goddamn.
not Eve.
Like you think that we are reading a fucking wall of text right now? Look, I'm gonna try.
But that's a good quote. That's a Billy Madison quote. He doesn't need a wall of text. You know what he's saying.
I do. From the first fucking like line of it,
All
I
right.
totally
It
fucking
is.
know.
It is midnight.
I just want to point out real
let's do
quick.
it later, bitch.
No,
Are we gonna do later,
fuck
bitches?
this shit. You know what? Because
I wanna
Rain
talk about
doesn't have
Twitch
a
chat real
Rain,
quick.
hold on. Rain is legitimately one of those girls who, when you ask at the end of the night, yo, you got another place to go? Which I actually asked in Discord behind like the scenes.
Which is
she's
always
like, she's
the
like,
answer
no,
is
I
yes.
don't. And I'm sitting there going, so what now?
Yo, fuck you. I have a place to go. I got my booty call
Nah.
texting me, so.
Nah,
no,
I
I just
talk.
mean
Go.
for us. I'm like,
But-
do we not have a place to party? And you're like, no. Fuck
Is that
Oh,
Drayden?
that's
Is Drayden
right,
texting you?
But before
Is your
we go,
husband?
though,
Is your husband?
Is your
Drayden
husband?
texting you?
Is your husband Drayden texting you right now?
He is, yes.
All that being said, I wish we had a fucking after party to go to, but we fucking don't. That's how we let this shit roll on like an extra hour. But no lie, motherfuckers, like we gotta go. I wish this entire conversation. Hold on, I don't wish it. I just
before
know,
we go,
I just know
I was
it's
really
Twitch
worried.
chat
I'll be
loves
I
honest.
know it's gonna fucking happen because this
Twitch chat loves me. That's
this
all I wanna
conversation.
I was totally
This
worried that there would be
conversation
nothing to talk
began
about the show,
because
and we had an
Hilmar
hour
talked-
overtime.
Hilmar talked a bunch of fucking shit. Okay, and here's
Yes.
what
No
we all have to
answers,
fucking do.
no
We've gotta
responses.
hold that motherfucker as CEO of that organization to his ideological fucking thoughts.
I love you,
Hold him
Tyrion.
to
How
account,
Eve
Doug. You do
Online
it.
should be. Like, don't sit there and hold it to Fozzie, who's a fucking F1 pusher. Don't hold it to
Hey,
all
you
the
be
other.
nice to Fozzie. He's my
I love
friend.
Fozzie. I do. I love all F1 pushers. I actually.
Oh, watch it, watch
okay?
it.
But you know what? The lower
Good job,
line
boys. Good
devs,
job.
when the CEO believes something, needs to trickle down to what the visionary guy and what
just
the
said
rest of the
trickle
fucking
down.
triumvirate thinks, and it needs to trickle down to how do the other devs
Trickle down
actually
again.
implement that shit. Okay, this is how it fucking has to go. otherwise, I swear to fucking God, we have all got to be there and sit there and say, Hilmar's just talking shit. I'm going to give him credit on this one fucking time. If I don't see actual implementation of what that bitch had to fucking say within 6 months. 6 months, right?
18. He said he wanted
18?
to have
18?
he said he
Is it
wanted to
gonna
have
take
the whole
18?
thing
Come on.
turned
Yeah,
around
when's
in
Pasta?
Can we do
Did
9?
he say when
Can we
Pasta
do
was
9,
getting
like,
done?
to get a fucking glimpse of it?
Well, I mean, yeah, we should be seeing it every week, right?
No.
that's what he said.
Fuck his chaos statement. Fuck all this shit should be fucking dangerous. Fuck all those fucking keywords that were bullshit, okay? Let's give a reasonable point of time where we as players of EVE Online, not nullsec players, not from this alliance or that alliance or anything else, let's just be EVE players for one fucking time. Sit there and go, you know what, motherfucker? You just talk shit. Or we see it being carried through. Let's allow both opportunities
We're at the point of
to
the night
happen.
when Dirk is talking and we have no idea what the fuck he's talking about.
Dirk is saying that
honestly,
Dirk is saying that Hilmar said a lot of things on Wednesday, and
I
now it's time to
died.
put up or shut up.
I died, team.
Nut up or shut up.
Sorry, Mercy.
You can't talk about how you were a fucking PI player and you thought PI needed to be made better, but you didn't actually make the fucking like changes to PI that.
I mean, that's a fair thing, right? PI went from 140 clicks a planet to 80 odd clicks a planet.
Exactly.
You
when
still got repetitive strain injury. It's still repetitive strain injury. That's the thing.
What I'm fucking saying.
You know. It's better, but it's not good. Let's hold them to good, please.
Or just tell me to like fucking go. It's like look,
here's what I'd like to say.
I know
I would
a bunch
like
of
to
motherfuckers
thank...
out there who hate me. I get that shit.
I would like to
but,
thank.
like, honestly, just make Eve better for you. Fuck me.
I would like to thank the 156 people who've been watching us for 3 fucking hours. Shot for that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They didn't. They rally up at the fucking end because they know it's all gonna go down hard.
Like, people
exactly.
are yelling
My wife's totally passed out, but now's the part of the show she would really want to watch because you're drunk off your ass.
People are yelling at Dirks in Twitch chat.
I'm just not.
Like,
I'm just not.
Dirk, no, they're not yelling at you. That's the thing. Like, you're expecting them to yell at you, and I'm sat here going, oh god, people are
I want all
yelling
these people,
at me.
I want all these people to fucking expect more out of the fucking simulation that they are trying to fucking play, or the like simulation with a game front end that they are trying to play. I want all of you, no matter where you are in fucking EVE Online, to expect more from this shit.
Dirk has upped his standards, so up yours.
Like, here, I have no idea what I'm talking about and need a straitjacket. Like, that's the
I don't even know
level
which
of
fucking Dirk
Twitch
I am
chat.
right now. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow morning and go and get a fucking cup of tea because you know a cuppa. Because you know what?
Don't forget.
I just think
to put
I'm him.
Sunscreen on your toes, man.
Dirk's here expecting that he's the sober one, while he's arguing that he's
well,
not
that's the thing.
sober
It's like
one.
he's busting my nuts for calling you sober, Dirk,
Yeah.
when it's obviously he's
Exactly.
not sober.
By the way, I just want to say, you know what? Thank you, bitches.
Yeah.
Are we doing later,
Honestly,
bitches?
All right, now you're copying
Are we
me.
doing
I
later,
already
bitches?
thanked
For
them.
all you motherfuckers out there.
I
because you
already
know what?
thanked them.
It's been
You're
great fun.
copying me now.
And by the way, there's no after show because Rain doesn't have a house for us to play in.
Boring.
I'm doing Overwatch. If you guys want to watch me play Overwatch, we can do an after
Whatever.
show.
No, we don't. Like whatever.
We don't want to
We just
watch
like
you play Overwatch.
we either want to watch Dirk get fucking totally drunker over the course of the night, not sober.
You're
Dirk, but, like,
already drunk. What do you want to watch? You've
Dude,
done that.
I want to watch you wake up in the fucking
I'm out of
morning,
makers,
like
I'm very
as
sad.
drunk as you pretend to be, but like you're not, because you were pretending.
Is that what you think?
No, actually, I think you're totally drunk too. Like I think we're just totally drunk on
totally
different
not.
time zones.
Sober Dirk, are you drunk?
And this is what I fucking love about Steel.
All I'm
Can't you
saying,
guys just call him Steel?
all
His name's
I'm
Dirk.
saying
Hello.
is that I have
what
been
you call him, fucking
drinking for
anything.
many hours. That's it. That's all I have to say. That's my comment. I've been drinking for hours.
You still sound better than
It's
Dirk.
cider, right? It's fucking hard cider, because that's how you
Oh,
guys
no,
do it
it's
over
like,
there.
it's like British shit.
Let's not talk about the
You know what I
cider
really
that
hate?
drink.
I really hate when you get that like cottony feeling in your mouth after you've been drinking.
That's in the morning.
Fuck.
That's what happens in the morning.
Not if you start drinking early enough.
Well, true. I mean, here
All that being said, I have one final last question for the night.
Oh god, that's
Is the
dangerous.
Meta Show gonna fucking like actually tackle this tomorrow?
No,
You don't think
no,
so?
you know that.
I mean, it's not tomorrow. It's Sunday, and
Like
B,
today?
no.
Like whatever.
No,
fucking today.
no. The Meta
Is the
Show will
Meta
be-
Show
Today
gonna
is-
tackle?
it's
Is the
Sunday
Meta
for
Show
everybody.
gonna tackle this in the way that the Meta Show should fucking tackle it?
Like,
Sober Dirk, what are you drinking? I want to know.
I've actually been drinking BrewDog IPAs tonight.
I love BrewDog.
There you go.
Fuck yeah, dude.
There you go.
That's what I've been drinking. BrewDog IPAs.
Victory,
Sunday
BT
is
Dubs.
tomorrow.
I'm hearing Sheck West out my fucking door, so like
But like, here's the
I'm
thing.
ready to like sing to it.
I'm not expecting that that talking in stations like
No,
apparently
it's not talking in stations.
apparently Talking in Stations is going to broadcast this 2-hour interview with video tomorrow.
No, on Sunday. Well, it's tomorrow.
Is Sunday.
It's tomorrow for you.
It's tomorrow where I am.
You're like in the old time zone.
It's tomorrow where we are, Dirk. Come on, dude.
Wow,
it's
how
not tomorrow
late is
because
it there?
it's not because it's today is the day
If
until the
he's
sun comes up.
legitimately
goddammit.
drunk, he thinks it's still today because he hasn't fucking showered and changed
It's
clothes.
12:08. It is today.
It doesn't
All right.
Saturday.
Ready?
Saturday.
Ready for later,
Today is
bitches?
the
We're
day
doing later,
until the sun
bitches.
comes up.
We're doing later,
Anyway.
bitches. You ready? You guys
Well,
ready to
Rain's
end
making
stream?
us
Wait,
sign off.
Rain's in
What's Rain
charge.
trying to talk
Are we
to
doing
us
later?
about?
Good night, everybody.
We're saying
Rain's
bye.
making us go.
You guys ready? All right, later, bitches.
No fucking
Later,
lies.
Let's
do some
Vodka is
shots
literally the
later,
shit that'll
bitches.
Hit you. Matani loves it.
Good
By
night.
the way, if you're out there in the fucking
Love
wait to
you,
hear Buck
fucking
doing this shit.
losers. White names represent.
Time
Rise
zone.
up. Later, bitches.
Hashtag Modsy.
Modsy. Later, bitches.
Oh, that
All right,
was a good
unironically,
show.
bye.
That